Got it.
beer thing up, but that's the only time I've really got that. We can't talk about that.
Well, I'd like to say, Bink, that's the only time I've caught the eye of old Johnny Palumbo, but I've caught his eye a few times over the course of my run here at the company. But Johnny Palumbo says, no, I cannot buy it. Well, he didn't say I can't buy it. He just said I can't.
Buy whatever you want.
I can't allow.
Solicit money.
I can't solicit money on the air through a Kickstarter for the communications trailer in order to purchase it, which I'll be honest, it's a real bummer for me.
Is the minimum bid still $40,000
yes.
on eBay?
Yeah, they won't even let me, honestly, at some point, I might just offer to be like, hey, if I take it away from you, just let me have it. I don't know who's purchasing it. I read some more of the details,
It
too.
might not.
Drew, I can't even begin to emphasize how inconvenient this trailer is for so many people. You need a crane to get it out, a crane to put it on a bed. It has siding on only two sides of it because it's up against a building. So they didn't side two sides of it.
Man.
It's not a convenient thing to purchase. Then where are most people who are purchasing putting it? I have a plan for it. Messy Taps is an idea. They should just let me have it at this point. Then I don't even have to worry about Johnny Palumbo.
Like
if
I
you're
said
listening,
yesterday,
Katie,
come down,
just let me have it.
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday. To get to a point, it's kind of an eyesore there, and I'm sure she's been told, get rid of it. Oh, I'll make you $40,000 on it. Well, clearly that's not going well. Didn't there just one viewer on it on eBay?
They probably just let some random
Cody Bink.
The one watcher is me.
Yeah,
There's not a single other person at this moment watching that item on eBay. It is just me.
just you.
Now, if that auction fails, maybe they'll just stick it up for auction again or keep it on Facebook Marketplace until somebody later purchase it. But I don't think it's out of the question to just say, hey, if you can't get rid of this thing, I'll move it for you.
Yeah.
Do we think this person's name who's selling it is actually Katie?
That I don't know. Like Bink, I'm on to something where at least Bink maybe they just said, hey, if you can get anything for it, it's yours, right? Like we can't do anything with it and we want it off our property. If you can get anything for it, it's yours. If this hotel is listening, if you'd like me to come pick it up, I could probably work out a way to get it arranged for that. But Odyssey Corporate will not allow me to take it. So.
If Odyssey had a trailer out of here and they said, Cody, get rid of this, you'd be eventually be like, just take it.
I'll figure it out. Yeah.
If you've already talked to your wife about it and she's like, you know what?
I did finally have the conversation with my wife.
And if she's like, you know what, if you can get it, go ahead, it's fine. I would say for you personally, if you want it, because it's obviously your decision, I would just offer like $500 if you can spare 500 or like $250. Like, yo, I can send you $250 right now to take it off your hands.
I'll send you $250. I'll come get it. I'll have a listener help me out. We'll work out I don't know what that normally costs to move, but somebody offered to move it for free not that long ago.
Yeah.
Who works in the freight business. So, and that person will drink at Messy Taps for free for life. The person who, gets the freight trailer for me. At some point, Drew, they're just going to need this thing gone. And at some point, I'm going to wait like a week. And if there's been absolutely zero movement on it and it's still either on eBay up for nothing or it's on Facebook Marketplace for nothing, I'd say, look, I don't think you're ever getting that cash. If you want me to come move it, I'll take it off your hands. That's essentially what I'm going to offer.
Yeah, I think that's
fair.
Yeah, that's very fair. And I think they'd be more willing to say, you know what? It's not what we wanted, but sure, go ahead and just take it off our hands.
You're going to have to finish it or put it up against your house. There's no siding on it.
Well, it's up against a fence. I'll tarp it off until I can put some siding up on it. I'll make sure it's squared away, or I'll go buy some. I can throw some siding on the side of a shed. I'll make that work. It'll be a little bit more boring, but that'll be on the fence side. If you haven't been in my backyard, but in my backyard, up against two corners of the house, we'll be fine.
Yeah,
we'll make it work, no problems. Let's talk a little football though here to start things, and then we'll talk what things to look for out of the Royals the rest of the way as we continue to figure out, I guess, whether or not this team's going to show any fight here towards the end. Obviously, the playoff stuff has been dashed, I'd say, pretty significantly, months and months and months ago. But Matt Verderame had said it, and then I guess, Bink, I wanted us to have the conversation not just with Matt, which is, if you look at the AFC right now, do you view it the same way I do? Because the trouble I'm having right now in picking an AFC winner is that I like the rosters better for the teams with bad quarterbacks, and I like the rosters less for the teams with good ones. And so, like Cincinnati, I don't think they can fix their defense in one singular offseason. Love their offensive roster. Still have questions on the offensive line a little bit. They made some signings to try to address it, but we'll see. Buffalo, I don't like their weapons outside of James Cook. Even some of the additions I have questions about. I guess they got some decent tight ends. Obviously, Josh Allen's still good. But their defense lost some more pieces, still can't generate a pass rush. The Chiefs, we've talked about their issues. So, and then even Baltimore, I like the coach they hired, but let's not just pretend like every time a new coach shows up in town, it works. Sometimes it goes the way of Harbaugh, and immediately there's impressive. But they weren't running out some bad coach like the Chargers were. They're running out a future Hall of Fame coach. Can I just pencil in Jesse Minter to run a better system?
I mean, it's also
to have a better offense. I don't know that I can. And they've got roster questions too. They've got the best roster of the 4 that I mentioned, I think. But I'm not sure where to land on the AFC because then it's Houston, Denver, and all these. Drew, I don't trust their quarterbacks yet enough to know it.
It is. I think you mentioned it with Matt, and you even mentioned it in terms of our discussions too. It feels like Houston could somehow back their way into a 1 seed just based on the division they're in. But I know you looked at the schedule and it is tougher. But it feels like they could back their way into a division title and then being a 2 or a 3 seed, let's say. And they're going to host a game in their environment, and their defense is so good where it feels like they can always be in a game, which makes it tough. But at the same time, if you don't trust the quarterback, can they actually win the whole thing? How many teams would you say are not necessarily Super Bowl caliber teams, but ones that you could see making the playoffs in the AFC? Because a lot of times, it still funnels down to
it's like the same
7 or 8 teams.
I think are playoffs, but I don't know that anybody's better than anybody, I guess is my point.
Do you think it's because I think it might be more than 8 though, because
let me see.
Jacksonville and Houston, I think, are yeses.
Yeah, those are yeses.
I mean, if Daniel Jones is good to go,
3
the
teams
Colts were on path to be in the running.
I don't think the Colts.
So that's a team that didn't make the playoffs that would make it, the Colts.
Here, I'll quickly rattle them off. Bills, Ravens, right?
Yes.
Patriots. So like AFC East, Bills, Patriots into list.
Yes.
Okay. AFC West, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos. So that's 5. AFC South, just the Texans and the Jags. I'm not entertaining anybody else at the moment.
Okay.
We can maybe keep it. That's 7. And that's before I do the North. So yeah, it's more than you think because it's
Bengals, Ravens, and then
it's everybody but the Browns.
Yeah,
in the
maybe
North.
the Steelers. Yeah. So
that's 10 teams I think can make the playoffs out of the AFC.
Which makes it feel like it, and based on what we saw last year with the Chiefs, Bengals, Ravens not making the playoffs, it feels like the AFC is up for grabs again, where we don't trust the Broncos. We don't trust the Patriots that much. We think they're going to regress a little bit. How good are the Chiefs going to look? How good are the Ravens going to look? How good are the Bengals going to look? That adds 3 new players that we know all have elite quarterbacks. So I think it makes it so much more up in the air where, I mean, if you were to say, I think the thing, though, that's different, we think 10 teams can make the playoffs, but how many teams can win the AFC? I still think it comes down to just the Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, and Bengals. I don't see Houston getting to the Super Bowl.
You mean win the AFC. You don't mean the number 1 seed. You mean go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
The Bills are not on that line.
You don't think the Bills are...
No, did you say Bills?
He said
yes.
Bills.
Okay.
Bills, Ravens, Bengals, and Chiefs.
I will say I would entertain Houston only because if they get a modicum of decent quarterback play, like if their quarterback play takes even a 10% step up, that defense is Super Bowl caliber.
From Denver, you're saying?
But they,
Houston.
For Houston. Okay. But they'd be fringe.
Yeah, but look at the real thing. They always find a way to get in it. They've won a playoff game in 3 straight years. Like they really have. Like C.J. Stroud does have 3 times more playoff wins than Herbert and Trevor Lawrence combined. Even though they suck one step for the first round, but they have won a playoff game in 3 straight years.
And they've hosted all those, right? That they've won?
Yes, except the one the loss is when they have it headed on the road.
Because they lost to the Chiefs on the road. I know that one a couple of years ago when Tank Dell had his injury.
But they have, which is it's just not taking that step. Like you always want to see that team take a step. All right, you lose in the second round, that's fine. Well, can you get to the AFC title game like the next season? But Houston lost last year. They won on the road too because they won in Pittsburgh on a wild card. Then they lost at New England. The year before, they won at home against the Chargers, lost to the Chiefs. The year before that, they beat the Browns at home. That's when Stefanski won Coach of the Year, and they lost at the Ravens.
I guess part of this
one of those was a road game.
And maybe this is too short-sighted because we're in Kansas City, and I'm viewing it different. I don't view last year. I view last year's AFC title game as an anomaly, not the story. Mm-hmm. As in, I assume there can be one-off years for a lot of these teams. Houston, Denver had theirs last year, maybe the Patriots. But if you made me guess the next 10 years of AFC title games, I would guess that 90% of the teams represented will be the 4 you just mentioned. Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore, and Cincinnati.
It feels like one of those 4 is making it all
until
the time.
Last year, 2024, Chiefs, Bills. Year before, Chiefs, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals, Chiefs, Bengals, Chiefs, Bills. Then there's the shot that the Ravens have been a part of that all but 1 year. Cincinnati got 2. Buffalo got the other ones, and the Chiefs in all of them. But it is kind of hard for me to imagine that all of a sudden this is a rotating field in which Houston, New England, and Denver get to be included in the list versus it seems way more likely that of the 4 teams I just mentioned, 2 of those are back in the AFC title game again, like they were every single year from 2020 through 2024. Before that, it was Titans and then the Patriots. Patriots, Steelers. Chiefs were in 2018. So it's largely been those teams. And I also view it still, because of the stat you gave the other day, is 1 year will not make me change who's the team meeting the Chiefs in the AFC title game. I assume the Chiefs are one of them. And that other spot's up for grabs amongst everyone else. And maybe that's a bad way to look at it, especially in what I'm just telling you is I think a very messy AFC, but still, it's hard.
Messy out of your mind.
From the 816, they're asking if I have an update on the Argentinian communications office. I did at the beginning of the show.
Just gave it.
Just rewind a little bit, but
Let's
enemy of the show, Johnny Palumbo, says, I cannot take your cash.
Let's also remember the stat I gave out the other day. Since the NFL realigned to 8 14 divisions in 2002, 25 teams have gone from worst to first in their division. So that is almost every single year that's happened. At least one team has won its division the season after missing the playoffs entirely in 53 of the 55 seasons since the AFL merger. That means the Chiefs would win the division because they didn't make the playoffs at all. So this isn't like 10 out of 55. This isn't 20 out of 55. This is 53 out of 55. So there's going to be uncertainty.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't, whether it's the Chiefs or not, you can pencil in the AFC. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not winning the AFC North. Whether it's the Ravens or the Bengals,
100%
that is going to be the case again, Bink, where a team that missed the playoffs is going to win the division. It's just going to happen. The Steelers, as long as Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow are healthy, one of them is going to win the division. I'd be very surprised if the Steelers won it again.
So who are the candidates then? In the AFC, there's
Chiefs.
that many candidates. As the Colts
Chiefs
didn't make it. Chiefs to be number one.
Yeah.
Chiefs to be number one.
And
then Ravens or Bengals, I would say.
But, and then the NFC with the Giants didn't make it at all. I actually think the Giants can be better. Can they beat the Eagles in the division or Cowboys? They could. So put them out there. Detroit Lions, could they win the NFC North, get ahead of the Bears in that situation? And how about the Saints? How about the Saints winning that? Or the NFC South? Because the NFC South is a joke. 8-9 won it last year with the Carolina Panthers.
I'd probably put Tampa ahead.
I think Tampa I'd put over New
or
Orleans.
Atlanta.
Well, Tampa didn't make the playoffs, so they would count.
Really, anybody
how much
in the NFC.
do you believe in Tyler Shuck enough?
But they finished 8-9.
Alvin Kamara's back, baby.
They finished 8-9, 8-9, 8-9, and 6-11. Anybody can win that stupid division.
No, that's fair.
So I'd say the Bucs and the Saints would be.
Fair.
Saints could win that division easily.
Could the Vikings? That would be a stretch.
That means Kyler Murray was good.
But
not out of the question.
The NFC North might be. I don't know about the toughest division, but I think it's there.
Maybe this is just like a weird year in which it all feels up for grabs more than I normally feel like it is. Because now that we're going through the divisions, I'm starting to make an argument for divisions to go a lot of different ways. So maybe when we get into that conversation, we'll feel different.
But Cody, I think it does feel like, though, in the same breath, that for the AFC, as we said, the same 4 teams feel like they're the only ones that can make it out. Where in the NFC, I still feel like it's Rams, Seattle. I don't know if I don't know how much we think that changes. Like, can San Francisco get back, I guess? Does it feels like it's still the same group of teams in the NFC where it's Philly or it's the Rams or it's the Seahawks, maybe the Niners too. Like, maybe the Bears, I guess you can add into that cluster, but it feels like it's still going to be the Rams to lose in the NFC.
Yeah,
it still feels like it could still be the same 4 in the AFC.
What do you feel is the best division? I always go by who can have 3 playoff teams. And obviously the AFC West, which I have seen rankings. I don't remember what it was, CBS or somebody, or NFL.com. The NFC North, yes. The AFC West will have 3 playoff teams, I think. I think the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos
NFC West
do make the playoffs.
I don't know how it's not the West. It has the best roster in football in the Rams, the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, and the 49ers.
So NFC West,
and still
AFC
like a
West.
pretty competent 49ers squad. So, I know the Cardinals are reeking at the bottom of that thing, but the NFC North is deeper.
The roster's not bad
it's
either.
Not better.
No,
it's
the
not.
NFC West.
It's
not.
not.
The Cardinals.
The NFC North could have 3 playoff teams because Chicago, Green Bay, can Detroit or Minnesota sneak in there.
Let's talk a little Royals baseball, and then we'll get back to Jake Eisenberg, who'll join us coming up at 10:30. Actually, you know what? Let's save Royals baseball talk for 10:30, Bink, because you're in the show. You've been filling in all week for me. And if there's one thing people know about Jay Binkley, it's that he likes beer. And we got the headline yesterday that said Kansas State to finally sell beer all over the stadium. Anybody think this is a bad idea? I will say,
welcome to the club, Kansas State.
I do wonder at a college stadium if it's a good idea sometimes.
It's a great idea.
21-year-olds, it's a great idea?
Yeah, because they're going to be doing it anyway, and other colleges do it. And in the days of name, image, and likeness, you need any kind of revenue streams that they can get.
Oh, you're saying like
no, you do
sell,
need revenue streams.
Get any amount of money you can get, and one of the ways you could get money is selling alcohol at your stadium.
Absolutely.
What does a stadium earn in selling alcohol in this? Kansas State did it the dumbest way, I'll say before, which is one little private area where you could buy 2 drinks and get kick rocks.
But you had to stay in that area to drink the beer. Like you had to stay in the beer garden. There's a couple beer gardens, I guess, that could do it. But now they can take it back to their seats. But not only that, now they can leave at halftime. So they can leave at halftime.
They can do that now?
Yeah, they can leave at halftime and come back.
Now, I will say,
that's one of the changes for Kansas State.
I'm torn on that a little bit in the sense that
a lot of them love that.
It is kind of weird that I can't leave the stadium. But that's like every stadium I guess I've ever been to. It does say K-State is committed to promoting responsible consumption, ensuring a safe environment, encourage responsible alcohol consumption for groups, and designate a sober driver. The normal stuff, right? But it does say game day prices, 21, sales will be limited to 2 alcoholic beverages per person per sale. Now, that's not that big a deal.
So that means you can only get 2 at a
Drew,
time.
I can't go get 10 beers for the row.
Yeah,
but that's not uncommon at most.
You can go
you can
get 2
get
yourself.
2, and then you can get 2 and then go back again in the second half.
Yes,
and get 2 more.
You can get 2 every 10 minutes. They're not saying it's just 2 per beer per sale.
But don't you use that 2 just for yourself? Like if you go up there, like if I go up there to get a beer, I'm getting 2.
I don't want to miss too much of the game. Like so, sometimes it's like at stadiums you do accept the idea of
you get up and get it yourself. Because if I go up there and I have a 2 limit, the 2's coming back with me, and the 1's not even making it back.
You can't just take turns.
What?
Huh?
You're going to drink a beer on your way back to the seat?
It's exactly what I do when I'm on an airplane, too. When I get a beer from the flight attendant, I say, can you just do 2? Because I don't want to sit there and wait for that card to go all the way down.
You're not even going to get back to your seat before you finish one?
Absolutely. Right. You got to take advantage of it, Drew.
How much money do you think you're going to make on this, though? How much you make by selling alcohol at
I don't know how much money.
Have any of the other schools, do they have like...
How much does West Virginia? Look up West Virginia because they were one of the pioneers of drinking
here we
in
go.
stadiums.
Someone says Missouri let you used to leave at half until they joined the SEC.
This is from the Big Lead.
But everybody knows what you're doing. You're just going to party at your car.
This is from the Big Lead, an article written in November of 2025. Wisconsin made over $3 million.
Whatever this number is, by the way, it needs to be half because Wisconsin is a different alternate drinking universe.
Funny enough, so they made $3 million. Number 2 is Nebraska at $2 million. So $1 million more dollars.
So I was correct.
Yes, you were.
Before you
were
finished that
correct.
sentence.
How much money did you say?
$3 million.
Wisconsin made $3 million. Nebraska made a little over 2.
So K-State maybe $1 million, $1.5 million.
Tennessee made 1.6. LSU made 1.4. There's only 6 schools that are only 5 schools rather that made over $1 million in revenue from beer sales. Only
Someone
5.
says that's odd that you could leave now, and I couldn't see that in the story, but it said KU could leave when you couldn't drink, but now that you can drink in the stadium, you're like, no, hang out here.
West Virginia
where you can buy alcohol from us.
West Virginia was number 8 at $979,000.
I see where they made $2.1 million is what one thing said. And since they have a beer for their Nil Collective, which is very smart, it's called Trust Lager. WVU's official Nil Collective, Country Roads Trust, receives 15% of sales from specific collaborative beers to support student athletes.
15%. So you'd say
That's
$1 million. I mean, they make $150,000.
Yeah, not much.
No, it's not. When we come back, let's talk a little Royals baseball. Our guy, Jake Eisenberg, will be on the call tonight as the Royals start things up after the All-Star break. We'll ask him, what this means for some of the future, some of the Royals players, and what we can look to in the second half.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically transfers to the substitute who replaces them. Go to FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, I'm Carter.
And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out,
leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
That'll be $84.52.
Perfect. Grab the bags, honey.
Mom, why do you always check your phone before we pay?
I'm just claiming my cash back on the Upside app. Since we're getting the groceries here and we filled up the car on the way, I've already earned enough this morning to pay for that pizza night we're having Friday.
Wait, so the app pays for pizza?
Not exactly, but the cash I earn on stuff we need helps us pay for the stuff we want. It's just a little win for our family every week.
Get more out of your everyday. Upside is the free app that gets you cash back on routine purchases like gas, groceries, and dining out at more than 100,000 locations nationwide. No points, no rebates, just cash back straight to your wallet. Download the free Upside app and use promo code WINNER to get a $5 bonus on your first purchase. That's promo code WINNER to get a $5 bonus. Remember, use promo code WINNER.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Even on weekends and holidays, Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric shows up. Expect reliable HVAC plumbing or electric service. Plus, enjoy $500 off a new HVAC system this summer. Schedule your free consultation at anthonyphce.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Everybody go.
Back in here on Cody and Gold. Cody Tapp, Jay Binkley, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get our guy Jake Eisenberg on the line in just a couple of minutes as we'll talk some Royals baseball. These offseason Chiefs conversations around quarterbacks. So now I got Elliott Shore Park sending out tweets about Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts since 2023. Like, and it's like he's got a slightly better completion percentage and way less yards per game and less passing touchdowns. And, like it's all this stuff, but it's like, well, he's got 37 rushing touchdowns. I think the tush push should count as a different touchdown, like half a touchdown or something. It's insane. At this point, I just can't even be bothered. Your mic's not on, Big. Get your mic.
Oh, the year before they were going to change it, but they didn't.
I know. I wish they'd get rid of it.
And what they did is they said you couldn't pull. So anywhere on the field, you couldn't pull. Because a lot of times teams will still push guys into the end zone. And speaking of Jake, man, I would love to hear Jake call a football game, a World Cup game. I would like to hear Jake expand his horizons beyond baseball.
Let's talk to our guy, Jake Eisenberg. He's called other sports before.
I know he has, but I'm going to see him continue that
He'll
trend.
be on the call tonight for the Royals and Padres as the Royals get back from the All-Star break. Jake, how did you spend your time off, man?
Hey guys. I was calling a couple of the World Cup matches, Bink. You didn't realize?
I thought I saw you, man. I thought I saw you. You were doing that Ecuador game earlier on the group stage.
Exactly. No, it was a good break. Spent it with my family up in New York. Got a little place my parents do out on the beach up there, so it was nice to get my feet in the sand and in the ocean a little bit, and got back to Kansas City yesterday and recharged and ready for the quote-unquote second half, even though it's really the second 40%,
How do you
wait a minute, Jake. They have one of those fancy New York beach houses, man. Like, I love that show, Maine Cabin Masters. Up and down the East Coast, some of these beach houses are incredible up in that area.
I can't speak to those, but I can tell you that it's a nice place to be for a few days.
Nice.
That's all that matters, Jake. I look forward to my time there with you down the road, You can invite me down.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
I'll invite you to my family cabin, which has no electricity and no running water.
You know what? That sounds great. Well, you have me until no running water.
Off the grid.
It's definitely off the grid. Jake, let's talk a little bit about where the Royals are coming out of this break. We understand, everybody does at this point, that the first, let's call it unofficial half of the season didn't go the way that they want. How do you think the Royals team can use that time away to kind of reflect on how the first part of the season goes? And I guess you've seen teams come out of the break before. How do they go about trying to going about business knowing that they're so far behind?
Yeah, it's a hard question, but I think if there's anything the break does give you, I mean, quite literally, it is a break. It is a chance to hit the reset button more than just that one off day does. And you can't change what happened the first 97 games of the season. You can't change where the Royals find themselves currently and all the teams that are in front of them, which is literally every single team except they're tied with the Angels. The only thing you can't control is what the final, 65 games have in store and what you do from here on out, and trying to put yourself in the best position to do something, pretty miraculous, over the course of the second half of the season. It is not unprecedented. It is obviously mathematically not likely, but again, each of the last 2 years, the AL Central has had a team that has been, cast aside, down and out, that has stormed back with some insane second half to make a lot of noise and make the postseason. It was the Tigers a couple of years ago. It was the Guardians last year. They were double-digit games out of the division around this time last year, and then they won the division. So it's not impossible. Is it improbable? Sure. There's no changing what reality is. It's improbable, but it's not impossible. And so in that small window between improbable and impossible is where the optimism and the hope exists, and the hope that these next 65 games are a reversal from the wins and losses from the first 97 games.
Jake, let me ask you this. So when you look back at the first half, what part of that do you think the Royals should take? What success do you see from the first half? Then you wash it out like a closer. When a closer comes in, you forget what you did the day before. You put the first half behind you, even though it's a little bit more than the first half. So what part did you think that the Royals did well that they can take to the second half to add to what they need to do going forward?
Yeah, I think that the beginning of the season, the biggest headline was the offense. What is the offense doing? What is the offense more largely not doing. And I think that got a lot of the headlines and a lot of the narrative throughout the entirety of the first half. But I think what kind of flew under the radar a little bit is that the offense, pretty much since the beginning of June, was actually a lot better overall in terms of runs per game than it was the first couple of months of the season. The Royals, you may not realize this, were a top 10 offense since the beginning of June, at least in terms of runs per game, averaged 5 runs a game from June 1st through the end of the first half. That is tied for 10th in all of baseball with the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, did that translate into the wins that you might expect that to? No, and that's because while the offense has found its footing, the starting rotation has really been hampered by the injuries that have caught up to them, and the bullpen has been shaky throughout the year. So it's obviously a multifaceted issue. You need these things to be somewhat in sync, and I think you can look at the first half and pretty objectively declare that the main phases of the game just haven't been in sync consistently enough to merit those longer winning streaks and avoid those longer losing streaks. But if you want to look at one thing to answer your question, Bink, about what you can take from, I guess, the last month and a half, it's that the offense overall has actually been pretty darn good.
How hard is it, though? Like, I mean, you've been around this stuff, and now everybody for the next 2 weeks has to look over their shoulder in some ways, Jake, where the trade deadline and teams change, and I've seen a lot of teams handle these things differently. Sometimes new guys getting new opportunity brings fresh blood and all this other stuff. But is it hard for the next couple of weeks as players try to decide if it's them who's possibly on the move versus somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, I think the players that are most likely to move or be moved are very well aware of that aspect of the game and the business side of baseball. You know, just looking at the free agents to be, you know, Lane Thomas and Starling Marte and Matt Strahm, you know, you're looking at those players, and I think there's an understanding that, you know, depending upon what direction a season goes, they understand that those are the kinds of pieces that teams are most easily looking to acquire or most likely looking to trade away. Lane Thomas has been traded at the deadline a couple of times in his career. And so this would not be the first time for him. So I think those guys certainly have an understanding that that's not just a possibility, but in all chances, a likelihood, given the chance that they're pending free agents, and teams that have losing records or in this position tend to trade pending free agents to get something in return. So I don't know that it affects them all that much. Now, guys that have a couple of more years of control that aren't necessarily obvious trade candidates, yeah, there might be a little bit more apprehension or a little bit more anxiety. I mean, that's only human, right? Especially, you know, if you've been in one place for a long time and you don't have necessarily any control over where that next place might be. I mean, look, I have the luxury of knowing where I get to go watch baseball every single day over the course of 162. That is not true for any of the guys on the field, save for the ones that have 10-5 or a full no trade clause or something like that. That is a luxury. That stability is a luxury. And so, yeah, it's only human to think about, you know, hey, what might happen over the next couple of weeks.
When you look at these teams, though, Jake, I've asked JJ this question before, too, but it is confusing a lot of times just of what the team's direction is with these 6 teams, the American League and the National League going to the playoffs. Because you see teams like Boston, you know, it was mired around. Now they go through a coaching change. All of a sudden they're a half game back for the wild card, so they believe. Detroit's playing better baseball. They've won 7 of the last 10. Minnesota has won 7 of the last 10. Those teams probably believe. And then Detroit may be in a situation with Tarek Skubal and move a different direction, even though they need him as a pitching staff's been very, very good for Detroit to go through. How much confusion do you think this last half of this month causes with these teams to sit there and realize, are we in it or are we not in it? That's got to be a difficult situation to be in.
Sure. I mean, I don't know that that's a bad thing, though, either. I think it creates a lot of interesting possibilities where you have a lot of teams that consider themselves as potential contenders or potential postseason candidates. And reaching the postseason, even though there's 3 wild card teams and 3 division teams, does not mean that it's an easy thing to do. We've seen that the last couple of years. You still need things to go your way, and you still need to perform at least up to the expectations that you have for yourselves. As much as there's a lot of confusion, I think it also makes it really interesting that you have so many teams that are vying for some of the same players in trade deals or trying to figure themselves out over the next couple of weeks and deciding what directions to go in. And because of that, you know, you wind up with this really fascinating, you know, choose your own adventure book sort of thing, where, like, if the Tigers wind up losing 6 straight games coming out of the break, are they more likely to trade Skubal? And if so, where does he go? And what other domino effects happen as a result of Tarek Skubal getting traded? You know, if the Red Sox all of a sudden are buyers in the deadline and they hold on to Aroldis Chapman, who a couple of months ago looked like a surefire, okay, he's going to go help a postseason team. Instead, they hold on to Chapman. Well, then who becomes the best reliever that's on the trade market, And so those are all the permutations that I find really interesting. And it's kind of like, okay, we're just going to have to wait until the dust settles that first week of August.
Jake, you knew the White Sox would be better this year. I'm not sure we thought after the All-Star break they'd be in first place, but 50-45 right now. You've seen that team firsthand. You've seen all the teams in the division. Is that the clear number one team in the Central right now?
Well, I mean, they are leading the American League Central, so statistically that does make them the leading team in the American League Central. They're 50-45.
Well, I thought they were tied with Cleveland with winning percentage.
You're right. They are tied with Cleveland in terms of winning percentage, but they have a better run differential, so I'm going to give them the edge there, at least statistically.
Big time.
I think that the White Sox have been a fascinating team to follow the last couple of years, and they are reaping the rewards of all these position players that they've called up the last couple of years that this year have all clicked at the right time. I think the biggest question for the White Sox is, what does the pitching look like? The pitching has been, I think, better than maybe we all expected it to be, or good enough that their offense has outpaced some of their pitching deficiencies, and their pitching has also been very good. And, that's a tip of the cap to Zach Both, who's their pitching coach, former Royals assistant pitching coach the last few years. Like, he did a great job here. He's doing a great job over there. And we're thrilled for Zach, even though, we'd like to see the Royals, perform a little bit better comparatively to the White Sox.
Sure.
As far as the Guardians go, it's kind of sort of the opposite, where their pitching, as usual, has carried them while their offense has not been as good. They've scored the fewest total runs of any of the teams in the American League Central. Heck, they've scored the fewest runs of any team in the American League. They're tied with the Red Sox for the fewest runs scored in the American League, and yet they're 5 games over 500 because their pitching has been so good, and that is in large part because their bullpen has been so good. Cade Smith has been so good. I was thinking about this, I think, as a little bit of a thought exercise the other day, but you take Cade Smith and you put him/his numbers on the Royals, and you think of all of those late leads and all of those close games, those start to go the other way. You're looking at a completely different record right now. And that's what Q talks about all the time, those razor-thin margins between winning and losing. Sometimes it's a big base hit in the second inning. Sometimes it's a really important pocket of, pitching in the 8th inning. Sometimes it's a little bit more nebulous, and it might be somewhere in between. But those close games are often the biggest deciders, and the Guardians have done a great job winning those close games.
Bink, Bink. I'm looking at Bink. Jake, what do you think what do you think about this second half of the season and what it means for Vinny Pasquantino? He started off slow. He's talked a lot about the slow starts that happens, but then the injury gets him in the middle of the season as he's starting to get hotter, and now he's got to kind of rebound. How do you think he'll view this second half for himself individually, and what does it mean for just his future, how long he's in Kansas City, and what he brings to the offense, obviously missing the middle order of your bat for a month?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting. I'm not going to presume to get into Vinny's head and, project what it means for him. I think that it's fair to say that he's going to probably come into the second half with a bit of a chip on his shoulder from a first half that did not meet the expectations that he had for himself or the team met for themselves. Knowing Vinny, he's a lot more worried about the team winning games than he is about putting up individual numbers. If he's doing things to help the team win, even if that comes at the cost of, a base hit here, if he gets a sacrifice fly, that's a team win. That's the thing that is most important to Vinny. As far as his future is concerned, well, he's under contract next year. He just signed a 2-year extension, so he's the Royals' first baseman in 2027, and then he's under team control in 2028. He's going to be in his 3rd year of arbitration. So I don't know that the future is all that much in doubt.
Sure.
But I think there is going to be a part of this, final sprint, this final 40% with Vinny that is a little bit of that first half, that was not good. I'm better than that, and I'm going to now show you. So I think we're going to see a pretty dangerous Vinny Pasquantino this second half.
I guess I view it, Jake, and it's not getting in his head, but I view it as an audition for him to be no, I'm still Vinny Pasquantino, right? Him and Michael Garcia or Salvador Perez, I view the second half for them a lot in this, hey, here's your chance. Prove to everybody that you're still the hitter that you were at some other stage in your career.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that we need to remember about Vinny is that he's been, outside of injury, basically a 100 RBI guy the last couple of years. He would have gotten there easily in 2024. He cleared that bar massively in 2025. I mean, he put up 30 and 113 just last year. That's what he can do. Now, how does the hamate bone affect the power? That's usually what they say is one of the last things to come back from that kind of injury. We'll see. I'm thinking that these 4 days, probably helped a little bit, you would hope. But in terms of the run production, yeah, that's what the Royals are going to need. I did think it was interesting, and it wasn't surprising that when he came back, you saw that order as Carter, Bobby, Kaggs, Lane Thomas, Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, Michael Massey. That seems to be a pretty stable top 7 in the lineup, depending upon how guys play coming out of the break. I think that lengthens the lineup. And like we were talking about, like this offense is better than I think we felt about it over the last couple of months. And that's understandable given the way the first half ended with a 5-game losing streak and, struggling to score runs. But this offense is better than I think we feel like it is. And they deserve the benefit of the doubt, I do think, because of how they've played over the last month and a half.
Last question for you, Jake, and then we'll let you get out of here. What did you make of Jack Caglianone's home run derby debut? Obviously, not getting out of the first round stinks, but I didn't think he no-showed or anything. Some of those home runs were fun.
Yeah, one of the home runs went to the third deck. I think I was reading only Ryan Howard had ever done that at Citizens Bank Park.
He got robbed, Jake. 477. Come on, man. It was like 500.
Yeah, I don't know. Between that and the one that was, off the D ring at the trough, and some of the other ones,
that was at least 500.
Yeah, look, I'll say this. It was really fun to watch Kaggs put on that power display. He might not have had the most home runs, but his home runs had the longest average distance. And in a spectacle, it's about how far does ball go? How hard do you hit ball? I think you can make the argument that Kaggs put on a show. And that's what we want to see with the home run derby. So it was really cool to see him on that stage, especially with his dad throwing to him. That was a lot of fun. And so I hope it's an experience that he, really enjoyed and cherished. And, now that he's hit 8 home runs, in an exhibition format, how about one tonight, in a game that counts? That'd be fun.
Hey, Jake, let's be honest here, though. That home run in Tampa, I've been watching it a long time. I'm curious, have you ever seen a ball leave a bat in the yard that quick? I think, was it 466 they gave it, something like that, or 446? I forgot what the official count was. It wasn't to hit the D ring. But have you seen a ball leave the yard as fast as that one was with Jack?
The answer is yes.
Really?
Now, not many have had that kind of visual impact because you're not always playing in a place. There was one that Bobby hit a couple of years ago that visited, what we jokingly might refer to as Mike Troutland in the fountains, just to the left of straightaway center. So there have been some pretty incredible home runs over the last couple of years. And between Bobby and Kaggs, and all the other guys, there's going to be some more. So it is a fun group to watch.
Appreciate the time, Jake. I'm glad you had a nice break, and then we'll talk to you on the call or hear you on the call tonight.
Yeah, great job in the World Cup, Jake.
Thanks to Jake Eisenberg. You can hear him on the call tonight as the Royals return back to action. Oh, like having our guy Jake on. Glad he got a nice break up in the New York beach area.
Yeah.
Hot as hell.
No, he's calling World Cup games, he said, on the radio.
Nah, I think he was
joking. But I always tease him because he always seems like he's working.
Yeah, he is. Baseball play-by-play guys are busy, man.
He did some stuff with the Mets too back in the
busy.
day. Yeah, he does everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He got his first calls were up with the Mets.
I remember bringing Jake on a lot during when he was at Omaha.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at that time they had Bobby Wood Jr. and other guys on too, so there were people.
You were the Royals
about.
Insider right then too. Like I was the year before. Jake was the one in AAA we talked to all the time.
Coming up in 10 minutes, we will talk about first-round talent and what it means over to ESPN, or is this just an off-season conversation? So, good to get into that as well. But over at ESPN, Benjamin Solak, who we've had on the show a couple times and I really like, listed off his most interesting pairings that are between quarterback or offense and offensive coordinators or just wide receivers. And I am kind of curious which one stands out to you the most. So here are the ones that he pointed out, and then I want to know what your answer is over at 913-965. Sean Payton and Jalen Waddle. Brian Bird were on the list. And, of course, just their offense and Justin Herbert. Kubiak and Bowers being the pairing. Saleh and Simmons being in there. And then Kyle Shanahan and Mike Evans. And O'Connell and Murray are on the list. Of those, what does stand out? Because we spent a lot of time talking about the Mike McDaniel, Justin Herbert thing. But I'd be lying if I said I'm not at least a little fascinated by Brian Dable and Cam Ward. I know it doesn't have Super Bowl implications this year, but that is one of the least heralded number 1 overall picks who wasn't complete trash in their rookie season. No worse than Bryce Young was in his rookie season, that we have just buried, I guess, in this way. And while Brian Dable certainly he was not bad at getting quarterback development or getting high-end quarterback play, right? That one might be the one that I think is the sneaky one.
Here's the one thing, Daboll, out of my mind. That is the worst assistant coach we've ever seen with the Chiefs. Brian Daboll was the
long ago.
But he was the offensive coordinator of the 2012 Chiefs. They were so bad they picked first on the clock. So bad they didn't have a lead till week 9. They were being compared to the Buffalo Bisons of 1927. They were that bad. So I know that he went with Josh Allen and things worked out and he got better, but I just can't get that off my mind at that point. So
because he was bad with the Chiefs once, you think he's got no hope?
Of course he does, but I just can't get that out of my mind. Now, who knows? Maybe he's going to be great with Cam Ward. I don't think he's the difference with Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward's a good quarterback. Did you say Peyton and Waddle?
Yep.
Because I'm curious how Sean Payton
I'm curious how that
works
fits inside
around
the offense.
Jalen Waddle. Because Jalen Waddle was one of those, also receiving votes? He wouldn't even, or was he honorable mention?
I got to say,
in the wide
he was on the bottom list, like also, like such an honorable mention or otherwise receiving votes.
I think the most intriguing,
I think Cortland Sutton's
is Kevin
overrated.
O'Connell and Kyler Murray. Like, can he do it again? Like, known as the quarterback whisperer and what he gets the best out of quarterbacks, can Kevin O'Connell do it with Murray the way he did it with Sam Darnold?
It is interesting. You think Cortland Sutton's overrated. I think if Cortland Sutton had a better quarterback, he'd be as good as A.J. Brown.
Do you believe in O'Connell and
We're
Kyler
so far
Murray?
apart on those.
Do you believe in Kevin O'Connell working with quarterbacks? I mean, J.J. McCarthy, we haven't seen the development, but Kevin O'Connell has been good.
I mean, yeah, ultimately, though, it's the quarterback that has to make the plays. Like, Kevin O'Connell can only do so much. Like, I know that it was worked out better, but if we're talking about Kirk Cousins is, and at his peak was like playing like he was going to the Hall of Fame. So I don't.
Well, they have
he was an MVP contender.
They have the Rams defensive coordinator.
I think Kevin O'Connell deserves some credit, but I mean.
But he was
I
great
gotta
with
say,
Sam
he did
Darnold.
make Sam Darnold better. He did make
resurrected
Cousins better. I mean, the best years for a number of quarterbacks under 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
That's pretty embarrassing. That's a pretty sloggy offense. Adding Jalen Waddle should make it better. But you're also looking at Cortland Sutton's stats. I mean, he's had 3 1,000-yard seasons in 8 years. He's been hurt, so but he's played in 16, 15, 16, 17, and 17 games the last 5 years. And he's finished with 776, 829, 772. He got Bo Nix, so they got a better quarterback, and he finished with 1081 and 1017. And, that's volume. He had 135 targets and 124 targets. His yards per catch, all that stuff, never really went up. He's been better, certainly better than his early part of his career, but, I don't know. I've just never been blown away, I guess. He's fine. He's fine. He's no better than Rashee Rice or, one of those guys.
I would say he's fine. I do think, though, in the same breath that I think if he had some better quarterback play, then he would be in the realm of A.J. Brown. I mean, if you just look at A.J. Brown, outside of the 2 seasons he had early on with Philly, where he had 145 targets and 158, if you look at the other seasons where he was targeted 121, 106, 105, his numbers, he had just over 1,000, barely over 1,000 in 2 of those seasons, or in all 3 of those seasons, actually, where Cortland Sutton had roughly the same amount of targets, and he had over 1,000 in those seasons. So, I mean, if you gave Cortland Sutton 158 targets, I'm not saying he would necessarily put up 1,400 yards, but I think he'd be more in the realm of A.J. Brown. I think he's in the realm of A.J. Brown. It's just that he doesn't get appreciated as much because he's not known as being that guy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But A.J. Brown, I mean, in the last, he's been in the league 7 years. Cortland Sutton, 8. Now, Cortland Sutton missed an entire year. A.J. Brown has 2,000 more yards, 20 more touchdowns, more yards per catch, 3,000-yard seasons for Sutton versus 6,000-yard seasons. And, let's be clear. A.J. Brown didn't have world-beating quarterback play from 2019 to 2021 in Philly or in Tennessee. And they don't exactly throw the ball in Philly. They throw it to him. But Jalen Hurts is not the most talented passer of the football. Better than anybody, admittedly, that was throwing the Cortland Sutton the ball in Denver. Probably.
Will he break Drake May? Like he got on Jalen Hurts so much. For a guy that went to 2 Super Bowls and winning one, how long will it take for him to break Drake May?
Couple years.
I mean, it would be really concerning, I think, if...
It'd be weird.
I'm not saying it's the concern.
Yeah.
But I do wonder about that relationship that A.J. because obviously, I mean, Cortland Sutton doesn't have a problem with...
Yeah.
They're both relatively... I mean, they're...
Chill.
Yeah. A.J. Brown, though, is interesting. He does come across as a nice guy, but then if he's not getting the ball, then things kind of turn quickly.
Yeah.
Or he reads a book.
He's willing to talk about it. That's the difference probably between the two. When we come back, the NCAA is continuing their conversation of the Sports Act they're trying to get through for college football, the Save College Sports Act. They have changed a thing that I think matters a lot to the Big 12 and some of the other smaller conferences. I'll tell you why next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
I hope you are sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and is 30 to 60% lower cost than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you're a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone. 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
As World Soccer hits the big stage, Fanatics Sportsbook is making every game day worth more. Earn up to 10% fan cash on your soccer bets, win or lose. That's real extra value you can unlock every match, all tournament long. And fan cash isn't just for betting. You can use it anywhere in the world of Fanatics. On game tickets, merchandise, collectibles, profit boosts, and more. One ecosystem, endless ways to spend. Plus, new customers get up to $1,000 in fan cash. That's $100 bet matched every day for your first 10 days. The world is ready. Are you? Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. CT, call 888-789-7777. MA, call 800-327-5050. NY, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
Summer savings start now at Hy-Vee's 3-day summer sale. Save big this Friday through Sunday on summer favorites with hot deals throughout the store. Stock up and save big on fresh meat, produce, and other healthy finds. Want an easier way to shop? Order on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery and we'll do the shopping for you. Save time, save money. Shop your way during the Hy-Vee 3-day summer sale this weekend only.
The Hy-Vee Market Grill is the best dining value in town. We love it for breakfast on the weekends, and now Thursday is steak day. You're going to get that perfectly grilled and seasoned steak with a baked potato and a side of sweet corn for just $12. You can't beat that deal anywhere in town. That's why the Hy-Vee Market Grill is a must on Thursdays for steak day. Dine in, carry out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're going to love the Hy-Vee Market Grill as much as I do. Don't forget, Thursday, $12 steaks, only at the Hy-Vee Market Grill.
Is anyone paying attention to rural Kansas? Everything costs way too much, and the politicians in Topeka keep siding with big tech and give a thumbs up to these massive data centers. We need someone who will fight for our farmers and ranchers and all the working people of Kansas. Vicki Schmidt is running for governor. She's the insurance commissioner who is laser focused on lowering costs and taking a stand against these out-of-state tech companies. Vicki's running mate is Joe Newland. He's the former Kansas Farm Bureau president who has spent his career farming himself and advocating for our rural communities. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland will fight tirelessly to protect our land, water, and way of life. That's why the Kansas Farm Bureau has endorsed Vicki and Joe. Finally, someone who has our back. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland for governor and lieutenant governor. Defend US PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Dustin McIntyre, Treasurer. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DefendUSPAC.us.
You've got a big day.
So you use Unstoppable scent boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Hour number 2 here of Cody and Gold. Cody Tapp, Jay Binkley with you. If you missed it earlier, my dream of owning the Argentinian communications trailers probably died at the hands of Odyssey Corporate Legal. So
unless you get it yourself for like,
I don't have $40,000.
No, you're not going to get it for $40,000 unless they do you a solid. Like, you know what? Fine, we'll go ahead and take what we can get.
I'll tell you right now.
Give it away, Cody.
My new plan is, and this might not work out. Someone said it was on Fox 4 this morning, probably because we've been talking about it too much. I'm inviting other people to potentially buy it.
Oh crap! It's been
I've talked about it too much. Somebody said it was on Fox 4 this morning, that it was up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Not good for me. But they said I can't take your money. At least not the way I was trying to take it. So that's off the books. So it's either my only two hopes remain, Bank, are one rich benefactor privately reaches out to me and has a ton of cash, or 2 weeks from now, and that thing's still sitting outside their hotel because there's not somebody out there with $40,000 to burn to buy this thing, I offer to get rid of it for them. It needs off your property, right? And I work with a fine listener.
You know what they ought to do?
Get that thing off their property and get it on mine.
Do you know what they ought to do?
What's that? Give it to me?
Convert the thing, put a bed in there, and rent it out as a room. You're staying in the Argentina communication trailer.
It's too small. There's no bathroom.
If Messi went in there, they could rent it out to have a piece of the World Cup still in Kansas City. If they're smart, that's what they do.
In a little bit, we'll get a British Open leaderboard update from our resident English native, Drew Nixon, who will continue his accent work in order to tell us who's the leader. I did see two different English 62s today on the course, unless somebody else went low as well. But before the show, we were talking a little bit about it, and the NCAA is obviously in the throes of trying to figure out I think kind of bogus, in my opinion, Save College Sports Act, because...
You're still on that side of it?
Well, I think it's stupid that the college players have no say. This is collective bargaining with no collective bargaining. You're not allowing the players who are half of this stupid thing and the reason why this all started in the first place to actually have a say in what is being told to them or not. That's BS.
Yeah.
It's BS. They should get a voice. Like every other league gets a voice. This is a professional league, whether you guys like it or not, and tried to fight it for as long as you can. In the NFL, the players get a say. In the Major League Baseball, they get a say. In Major League Soccer, they get a say. It's stupid to me. The players get no say. And it's just people in Washington and the people who run the NCAA, once again, forcing things on the players. I don't think that that's very fair.
Well, the reason that this one's different is that this one didn't say they can't. It leaves open the possibility of having a CBA. So it's not in it, but it's something.
But they don't have a say on this part of it. They don't get a say in things that fundamentally impact the league, which means impact them. It has things on transfers and realignment and it's things that directly impact them, Drew. It says, oh, no, you can't transfer more than once, or you got to sit out. I'm a player. I get no say. That sucks.
I don't think I understand that side of things. I do think I'm not going to say it helps the athlete a little bit more, but it makes you, and it's not like it's a free pass, because I think, you just the same as you can leave freely between jobs or whatever. I get it. But I think it helps them a little bit in terms of you have to make a decision that actually means something, and not just say, well, I'm going to commit here, and then I'm going to bounce here, and then I know that I'm going to bounce here. Like you have to plan things out a little bit more in terms of your path to get where you want to go. Like you have to look at more than just the amount of money that you're going to make. Like I think it changes the mindset of how you go into things, where you have to look at development a little bit more. You have to more than just, well, I'm getting the biggest check from this place, so I'm going to go to a place that probably is not even the best for me, or one that may not be most successful, just to make $1 million more. I think it helps them fundamentally process which school to go to a little bit more, which in the end can maybe help them a little bit more. But I do understand that, Drew, but you're ripping away the freedom to move. I get it.
They don't stop Nick Saban from taking the biggest check, whether it's the right school for him to go to or not. Jimbo Fisher went to the wrong school. They didn't stop him from taking the check. It's like pocket watching for college athletes. They're always watching the small check and not the big one. But beyond that, we've had that conversation a little bit. I think it's BS. We think there should be collective bargaining. They should have a union.
There should
That doesn't even the thing that is interesting to me. What is interesting to me in part of this is they are trying to, which I think is an important thing, kill conference realignment. Originally, they were trying to kill it all together, saying nobody can transfer to any other conference at all. The recent change says no one from the Power Four can go to each other, but anybody in the group of 6 can. Do we like this change? Does this make sense for the sport? I will say, from the Big 12 and the ACC standpoint, you should love it.
Yeah.
No one gets to come. You should have wished you had this 10 years ago, and then you'd still have Texas and Oklahoma in your conference, or 20 years ago, and you'd still have Missouri and all the other ones. If this existed, the conference is the way they should have been, with regional alignment in the conference the way it's set. The problem is the damage is done. I guess this just prevents further damage, which I'll take.
Yeah, that's the tough part about the damage done. When you look at the West Coast teams in the Big Ten, which makes absolutely no sense as a whole financially for the alternate sports. Football's fine, you can travel, but there has been a competitive disadvantage for the East Coast teams playing on the West Coast and the West Coast to the East Coast. That's been factually proven out, where teams have struggled doing that back and forth. I guess I'm for it, but you got to think who's really going to add. Like Power Four, who's really going to add? Because it comes down to television sets and dollars, and tradition's a big thing about it, but are you really gaining the televisions? Because guess what? The biggest market's already in the Power Four.
I don't think it's about the markets anymore with the expansion, which I actually like that part of it, because market size is the reason why we got to this crappy place in the beginning. Is everybody we need this big market, so we need to do it. The markets are are part of the problem why we got the expansion the way that it was in the first place. But I think it's a small handful of teams: USF, UNLV, Boise State, maybe North Dakota State. It's more of a program. It's more of a in-sport uplifting thing than it is a viewership deal necessarily, which is why I think it's a smaller handful of teams. The only group of 6 team from a football standpoint that can afford, or just in general, the only group of 6 team out of all the ones that are in the group of 6 that can afford the $20.5 million school budget for the athletic department is USF. So if you're the ACC, geographically, they fit into the ACC's plan. If they wanted to make it 18 teams instead of just 17.
I looked it up. Go ahead.
If you're the Big 12 and you wanted to dip your toe back into Florida, then USF would be the one I think that everybody would keep their eyes on, because they can afford the budget, which means they can afford to at least hang a little bit more from a money standpoint with teams in their conference.
This is why this kind of change, even though it's the Big Ten and the SEC asking for it, is really good for the Big 12.
It helps them, yeah.
It helps out the Big 12 and the ACC more than I would expect for something that the other two conferences are asking for. Now, I think that they're just saying, we'll maintain our superiority just as long as the Big 12 and ACC don't merge and then try to take us on. They're trying to, I think their attempt is probably to keep it at 2 powers, Drew, and not some way in which those schools, like the Big 12 robs Clemson and then that conference dies and now there's a third big voice in the thing.
Yeah.
And so, like, it helps them too. But this idea that the Big 12 couldn't be robbed anymore of their schools is big. I looked it up, by the way. As of last fiscal year, 2025, these are the 5 schools that would most likely be impacted by it if you were still plucking from the group of 6. These are the ones with the largest football budgets in the group of 6. Colorado State is actually number 1, Drew, at $38 million. They already have Colorado, so it wouldn't make sense for the Big 12. South Florida, number 2, as you'd previously mentioned. Boise State, 3. Memphis and Oregon State, 4 and 5. So unless you want San Diego State or Washington State and you're trying to go out west further, or UNLV, those are all in the top 10. And those are all 20 million-ish, rather than 37 for Colorado State, 33 for Florida State, and 30 for Boise State. The only ones over 30.
I really will. I do. If there's one group of 6 team that I would want, and you knew that I could get, it would be USF, just because they can afford. From a money standpoint, they're
you
not.
You already have Colorado, so bringing in Colorado State's like, meh, I don't care.
Geographically, Colorado State, North Dakota State, even Boise State, I think makes sense for the Big 12.
But the Big 12's not geographic anymore either.
Correct,
it's not as bad as the Big 10.
Yeah, they can have that West Coast time zone.
It's not even as bad as the ACC, Cody, because the ACC has Stanford and Cal. So the regionality of the sport has really changed where the Big 12 could get away with, and they've already got a team in Florida going after USF. But
well, USF is getting a brand new stadium this year. Or no, next year.
I guess this is like the part, Bank, that really drives me crazy. And this goes back to like the original conversation we were having, Drew. Is this in practice? This like realignment thing, it's good for the sport. But it would have been a lot better for the sport 20 years ago. And the only reason they care now is because college kids are getting paid. That's it. They didn't care to fix any of their problems or any of the issues with the NCAA for 100 years until college kids started making 30 grand. Now it's an issue. Now we got to fix the whole sport. It's all a problem because some 18-year-old drives a Mercedes and it didn't get handed to him from a donor. That's the issue I have with the players not having a voice. The only reason they're trying to screw all this stuff up is because college kids started making money. Like it's so gross, I guess. Pink, you didn't say. Do you care if the college players don't have a say in this? You think this act is good?
I think they should.
The college players should have a voice in it, but I think it's a lot harder to manage when
it is.
Players are like
it's easier said than done in some ways, admittedly, because the Players Association has players who are sticking around.
Correct.
More than 3 years.
Correct. So I think it makes it really difficult for them to have a big enough voice at the seat of the table, I suppose, where I don't know if they have a board and there's former players on the board. It would look different than what we traditionally know with, those other groups of people.
But you can have people like,
leagues.
I would just think it's fairly simple. For former college athletes who have been dealing with this for a while, are paid representatives for you in the negotiating window. They get a couple of lawyers and a couple of former players, and it's a board. The same as the College Football Playoff Committee has a board. It's 12 people in a room helping decide the fate for college football players. But you need a voice in the room who is not on the side of the NCAA. That's where the former players come into play.
They desperately need a commissioner.
I don't think, which is where I think I understand.
They do need that too.
I think the legislation thing is beyond just the NCAA, where you'll have a commissioner, whoever that is, and then you'll have a Reggie Bush. You'll have, you just pick names out of a hat in terms of guys that have played that are a part of that group for that voice. But I think ultimately, what they're trying to do first and foremost, that's why this one has got so much success or made it as far as it has, is it leaves the union or a players association on the table, which is why I think this one is advancing as fast as it is, because they know that there's a deadline and they know that they need legislation. And whether it's them leaving it open, Cody, is the reason why I think it is more likely than not it actually passes. Because all they want, they just need legislation. They don't care how they get it. They just need, college sports needs legislation. So if it's the one, and even if it doesn't have an immediate CBA, an immediate players union, the fact that that's still on the table, that's the one that's most likely to pass because it can eventually, after a few years, be added where once you get your bearings and you have the legislation, now we can start to add the things where the players' voices come in and you really start to make it you really start to build the future of college sports more than just the Wild Wild West as it is. Just try to get some foundation.
Yeah, because you only got like maybe 10 years of security unless they're saying, hey, they can no longer pluck your teams out. You can actually build a conference knowing. But the problem is like too late. The Big 12 already lost
agree.
Missouri and Texas and Oklahoma and Oregon, went to the Big Ten. Like the dam already broke years ago.
It's jumping in too late.
Something like you can't move now.
Before damage control.
You really did it now.
I do think that even let's say Missouri left and A&M left and Nebraska was gone.
Let's make the teams go back. Bring back the old conferences. Make it all equal.
But to me, even if you take it to after that wave, let's say Missouri and A&M stay in the SEC and Nebraska stays in the Big Ten, you still would have the Big 12. You still would have the Pac-12. You would still have the Big 12 mostly regionalized. And then you started it. I know the Big 12 would probably end up being not worse off, but the number of teams wouldn't be the same. And you restarted it. I think that it would make things a little bit better, even if you kept Missouri in the SEC. This whole new wave of Oklahoma and Texas and what they did really spurred on the chaos that came from realignment with all the conferences being named the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference, but you've got Pacific Coast teams. It's kind of bonkers.
The SEC is the only one that maintain regional
They
rivalries.
Yes,
and look, they stretched themselves out too. I don't want to make it seem like they went all the way into Texas and they went and they lost some of that stuff too, but they're the only one that maintain at least some version of regional rivalry. There was a little bit different outside of that. And so, but it's just, I don't know. It just feels so.
It does feel like
what good is it doing?
They had to get it done though in the next couple of weeks, Cody, because there's a recess with the Senate or whatever in early August. So either next week or the week after that, it could hit the Senate floor, and this thing could be figured out by the time we get to the regular season of college football this year for the future.
We'll keep an eye out on it. It's so frustrating. Let's do it though. Let's get to the trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
This one comes from New York State. Headline, Bink. Rural New York school district will be one of the first to bring humanoid robots into the classroom. And you might think, what? I don't love that. It gets worse, Drew, because the robot humanoid manufacturer is currently a crypto venture who makes sex dolls. So,
what are we doing?
They will just repurpose or make in a different fashion the same humanoid robot, but just make it a teacher instead. The school district agreed to purchase the robot from Robotics, a tech company, along with the artificial intelligence teacher's assistant program, allowing students to interact with an avatar of the robot on their laptops. The deployment in a working school district represents a landmark moment for both AI and humanoid robots. The female robot named Sally will have a lifelike appearance with silicone skin and long brown hair. It will be stationary in a seated position, but have a wide range of upper body movements and facial expressions. How dystopian is that sentence? Big, do you imagine how mad? And look, my kids go to public school. You and I went to public school. Drew, I assume you went to public school.
Yep.
You're teaching my kid with a converted sex robot? That's no good.
That would be very concerning if I was a parent. I wouldn't like it if
it was just a regular robot. But the fact that that's what that company has been making for all these years, I don't love that.
What if you're our teacher? What if they said, hey, Cody, your teacher's assistant is a former sex robot?
I don't need a humanoid robot to be my teacher's assistant. I've never had a TA.
Hey, can you do this for me? And you're talking to a robot? Absolutely not.
Someone says, why can't it just look like a robot? Why you got to make it like, why is it got to be like a silicone real face-looking person? Can the kid not just get used to talking to a robot?
I honestly think you're very much so right about this. I would rather it look like a robot than look like a human. And yeah. I'd rather it look like Ultron from the Avengers. Like, yes, please. I don't need it looking like
just famous robots through time.
A human being.
Honest to God, I'd rather it look like the T2 Terminator than look like a creepy humanoid sex doll. It's teaching kids. You know, like.
Wait, these are like teacher's assistants you're saying as well?
This is like a full-blown.
These are students.
In this
No,
case,
I'm suggesting a teacher's assistant.
You're saying a teacher's assistant for me? And the humanoid.
Yeah.
I'm saying are the robots are students? Or they're assistants in the classroom?
This one will
students
start
are regular.
The students are regular.
Teachers are the sex robots.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, just one smart kid hacks the damn thing. What do I know? This is a nightmare. I don't want... Like, there's already maybe enough technology in this world. I'm going to start sounding like a Luddite, but I don't need humanoid robots teaching elementary school, Bink.
No, it seems like a
feels like maybe
idea.
Children need an actual human to deal with some of their emotional needs.
Request a teaching change quick.
Yes. The emotional needs are the big thing.
The classroom marks a new venture for the Realbotics company, the one I told you previously been making sex dolls.
He's changed,
a Toronto-based
direction.
robotics company formerly known as Tokens.com that helped customers use cryptocurrency to rent digital land in the metaverse are now taking this, their parent company, Real Doll, which has spent decades creating hyper-realistic sex dolls and later expanded into sex robots.
It's an interesting
that remain on the
switch.
market today. So technically this is a subsidiary, but let's be real here. Do we think they're not using?
I don't understand how people don't... How are we not getting the signs of this? Like, we know where this is eventually leading, right? Like, this is only...
It's just
do we not
this is
understand?
a Black Mirror episode, I think.
Yeah, do people not see what's going on here or what eventually is going to come of this? Like, eventually we're going to get to the point where there either are no more teachers and we're getting all taught by... Our kids are all getting taught by robots. Or
which is scary.
They're going to take over. And, there's too much risk that goes into this.
Someone says...
And I don't think enough people are noticing what's actually going on here.
From the 816, kids these days are much smarter than tech than we are. Wait until one of them figures out how to tap it into default mode.
Yeah. As soon as you...
And all of a sudden, it's in control.
Yeah.
You think you're going to put a robot in a classroom and some smart kid's not going to figure out a way to...
Yeah.
Come on. They've been dealing with technology their entire lives.
Yeah.
I mean, it just like... It looks... And by the way, the photo, Bink, it looks creepy as hell. The teaching doll, if that makes you feel any better. I don't know how to put it.
It's just uncomfortable. I would feel uncomfortable.
You know what my problem is?
If I was a student, I'd feel uncomfortable.
The photo image they're using, I'll just be honest, it just looks like a clothed. Like, they make it look like they just reconfigured a former sex doll and just put clothes on it, Drew.
It's disturbing.
It's really uncomfortable.
And this is actually a thing that's been passed and is happening.
Yeah. Rural New York.
Who is making these decisions?
Some
New York,
superintendent
evidently.
somewhere. He said, let's see, students will use a unique identification code when interacting with the robot during class.
Stop.
Allowing it to access their learning data and provide. So now it's also gonna data track me too.
Yes, come on, get out of here.
They'll be able to say, "Hey, I'm student number 1, 2, 3, 4." This is so bleak.
You're numbering your children at that point. They don't even have names at that point.
Yeah.
You're putting numbers
They're
on
like
your kids.
prisoners.
That's insane.
Someone says, "Hey, we were talking about this yesterday. Do you want to continue that conversation?" Salamanca plans to introduce the robot and avatar in its high school AI and robotics course. Curriculum developed by...
I would be transferring.
Apple.
I would be transferring.
Done. My kid's
They're not attending
done.
the school.
My kid's done in that class. Oh, it's so horrifying. That's my trash of the day. I'll get you a random question today later on in the show, but I thought that was a pretty good one. When we come back, we got the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Bink wants to know who the surprise Chief is this year, and he already has the answer.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically transfers to the substitute who replaces them. Go to FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Jason Aldean. Songs About Us Tour 2026. Powered by Patriot Mobile. Saturday, July 25th, Morton Amphitheater. With Chase Matthew. And McKenzie Carpenter. Jason Aldean. On sale now at LiveNation.com. Jason Aldean. Live.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Fanatic Sportsbook makes every baseball game day this season hit harder. Swing for the fences with long ball jackpots. Just pick the player who hits the longest homer of the day to win a share of $50K in fan cash. Every day brings a new shot to win. Customers also get baseball profit boosts every game day. And your bets earn you fan cash, win or lose. To spend on merch, tickets, exclusive experiences, and more. Go deep this baseball season and download Fanatic Sportsbook today for the best baseball betting experience each and every game day. Fanatic Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MyReset. CT call 888-789-7777. MA call 800-327-5050. NY call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Offer not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatic Sportsbook app.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Odyssey Sports is presented by ZipRecruiter. Find out why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/team.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Evan Johnson from the Kansas City Chiefs, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day at 11:30 on Cody and Gold on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour time here on Cody and Gold. Cody Tapp, Jay Binkley with you. We're going to get to the Chiefs, I promise, in a minute. But it's already 11:30, Bink, and we haven't had a chance to catch up with our British leaderboard update. It is the Open Championship. I saw our guy, Tom Watson, local guy, talking on the broadcast. I believe he won it at this course, one of his Open Championships.
It was 5.
So before we get some Chiefs and talk about surprise players, let's get a little Open Leaderboard Championship.
I don't have the music, so I'm sorry about that.
You don't have the music?
I have to apologize. No, I was not on me P's and Q's for that, so I apologize. But
a KG feisty matchup.
Lucas Herbert is currently atop the leaderboard at 8 under par. Cam Young, one of two players, tied for second at 6 under par. Both of them having really good rounds. There have been 262s today.
That's insane.
On this Friday from Herbert and also Sam Burns, the American, shooting 5 under par for the tournament, 8 under par for today. Robert McIntyre, Alex Fitzpatrick, the better of the two Fitzpatrick brothers in this tournament. Matthew is going to be fighting to make the cut. Ludwig Oberg, some other names that you may know. Ludwig Oberg at 4 under. Scotty Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau at 3 under par. Tommy Fleetwood as well joining them. As for Rory McIlroy, needing to play well to make the cut, he is at 1 under for the tournament. He is done. He will be making it to the weekend. So Rory McIlroy will be making the cut currently projected at 1 over par.
Okay. Keep an eye out on it. Thank you, Drew.
Royal Birkdale.
I've never even heard of Lucas Herbert. I'll tell you right now, if this Herbert guy wins, it'd be the first time any Herbert won anything. Sure as hell isn't Justin. What? He hasn't won
Spicy.
Jack. Does he even have a playoff win?
No.
So who's Justin Herbert? Who?
Lucas Herbert would be taking the thing down.
Mm-hmm.
3 Americans in the top 4.
This is not exactly this is an interesting leaderboard, admittedly. There's like 15 guys on here I've never even heard of.
It is really interesting. I think the Open, like the British Open, is more for that. Like the PGA and the British Open are more in that realm where, especially, you get these guys like Herbert or Suber or Daniel Brown, guys that are used to playing potentially in links conditions where they might at least hang around for a little bit longer. You eventually still, I think, get like Scotty and, Cam Young's up there. Enough people know about Sam Burns or Alex Fitzpatrick, but I do think that for the Open, like Darren Clark won it 1 year. Nobody had really heard of Darren Clark that much until he had won it. And it's like, who is this guy again?
Scotty's -1 today, -3 total through 8, only through 8, and Bryson is -3 as well.
Cody, I don't think you know who Bud Cauley is.
Nope. That sounds like somebody who's on Leave It to Beaver. That's like a neighbor kid. You can't be convinced otherwise. But I guess was in the Cosby Show, but, we don't mention his name very much anymore. Did you go up on that show, Bink? What were the sitcoms of your youth? Cosby Show?
Oh, they were live?
Yeah.
Cheers was one of them. Cosby
Cheers.
Show, one of them. But Cheers definitely. We used to watch like older ones, like the ones already done.
Like Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore, those?
Andy Griffith Show.
Andy
things
Griffith,
like that.
okay.
But yeah, as far as it was Thursday night, right? It was the Thursday night live shows.
I guess so. When were you like 8?
kind of grew up on the Cheers.
What year were you like 8? 8, 9, 10, somewhere like
Early
that.
80s.
Early 80s? 1980s biggest.
So that was obviously very much the appointment television, like stay here for the new episode sort of stuff.
Magnum PI, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Early 80s TV shows. Roxanne? That hit your list?
No, well, it was on, but Magnum PI was a big one too.
Married with Children? That was
1980, 1988. So
Cheers was 82.
The A-Team? When did the A-Team run?
That was probably during that run too. I was curious, Bink. That's all. Let's talk a little Chiefs football. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll get back into the Royals a little bit, plus something that I think is being ignored about all this quarterback debate between Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and others. But, Bink, you asked me. You said you already have your answer, so I'll let you answer first.
Got the answer.
Which is the surprise chief of this season for 2025. I am curious, without giving each other the answers, because we didn't share our answers ahead of time. No cheating in this class.
I talked to your robot, and your robot told me.
Who is our actual answer to that? What's your answer before I give you mine?
Mine would be Rasheed.
Rasheed?
Only because.
What would he have to do to be considered a
incentive.
surprise player? 1,100, 1,200 yards?
Yes. 100%.
What would be surprising from him?
Stay healthy, stay out of trouble, play the entire
Stay out
year,
of trouble. That's
and get over 1,000 yards.
Okay. So your answer is, man, Rasheed Rice was not the answer.
He has the most incentive. Let me put it that way: the most incentive to really break out.
I think Jalen Moore's got a huge incentive to break out, but certainly Rasheed Rice. Jalen Moore's is just play. But Rasheed Rice has to play well and not get in trouble. Yeah. But he's never getting paid by the Chiefs, I don't think. Rasheed Rice? I don't know how the hell you can
paid by somebody else.
Yeah.
But this is his chance to do it. He missed his chance. He's sitting in jail when you're looking at every other receiver drafted 3 years ago making extra cash and guys 4 years ago and Christian Watson making money. So you're sitting there and all these guys are making all this money that you could have had, but you got yourself in trouble. This is the year. He goes out. He's got Andy Reid as head coach, got EB as his offensive coordinator, got Patrick Mahomes going to the Hall of Fame as his quarterback, got Travis Kelce out there, distracting defenses. Rasheed Rice being the number one receiver for this team that we think is going to be a playoff team that we'd put on that one line to be a Super Bowl contending team, and he's your number one receiver with that quarterback, and cash is right there. I mean, it's like on that fishing pole in the end, right? He can grab that. Like if he goes out, stays clean, has a great year, he has a monster incentive.
In a weird way, I feel like we could have said that about Rasheed Rice last year.
Well, yeah,
and he got hurt. But then he got in more trouble this offseason. He should have everything to lose this time.
When he first came back, he was really, really good for about 4 or 5 weeks. Like he was really, really good when he first came back. Then it all went to hell.
I will say, I thought you might say Omar Norman Lott. That was not my answer.
He's coming off an ACL, so I just don't know.
My answer is Noah Williams. In the history of the Chiefs in the Brett Veach era, every time they let some former Pro Bowl, All-Pro, Super Bowl caliber or winning corner go, some other dude steps up. Charvarius Ward was an unsung hero that people loved, and then it was L'Jarius Sneed, and then Trip McDuffie. It'll be Noah Williams this time.
Unless they think that's Delane.
Look, Delane's going to be a part of that. But for him to say breakout player, he's the 6th overall pick. He better break out. Like I'm not. He could be the 6th best corner in the NFL, and I wouldn't call him a breakout player this year. I'd say
corners do struggle at times. Though.
I know, but like rookie corners picked that high don't.
No.
Like rookie corners who get picked that high.
Sauce never did.
They're pretty much immediately stars. Trent McDuffie, Sauce Gardner. The only guy, Jeff Okudah might be the only guy who's just a flat out bust. Outside of that, if you're taking that high, you're pretty much great immediately. That's why I think it's Noah Williams. They're going to put him on the outside. He's going to play more than he ever has, that or in the slot. And I think it's just going to be the name that you're like, look at him holding down people constantly. And he'll be the name by the end of the year that will make you feel, Mansour Delane will make you feel better about Trent McDuffie not being here. Noah Williams will make you feel better about all the other moves they made in the secondary. Because they lost safeties. They lost corners. He's the guy who's going to keep Shamari Connor out of the slot at times. He's why I think he would be my choice of breakout player. I'll take your answers over 913-586-7965. The ACL stuff does change things. Gelati, I would guess, would be an answer for someone. 2 years ago, the answer for a lot of people was Felix Anudike-Uzomah. And, of course, I still don't think that's going to be the case. Do you have an answer, Drew? Is there a Chiefs player you think is going to break out?
Oh, man. I was trying to think about this, and I don't know if it would be too surprising or
Cyrus Allen?
Too early.
Jalen Royals?
No, it's none of those guys. I think Peter Woods.
That to me is like the sneaky part of they're just not discussing him. And if he had like 4 sacks from the interior, 3 sacks from the interior, but was like a force in other ways, that'd be huge for this team.
I think the one thing the way that people wouldn't recognize it though, is if Chris Jones gets back to like 10 sacks.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh man, Chris Jones is having a great season, but like the unsung hero is Peter Woods. And I think breakout player wise, it might not go noticed. But if Chris Jones has 10.5 sacks or 10 sacks this year, it might be because Peter Woods is on the other side right next to him.
Correct.
And is taking away, like if Peter Woods had 2.5 sacks this year, but took away a double team because he's that good, like the player that we saw at times at Clemson where he was thought of being a top 5 talent, that is the player that Peter Woods is and shows up, then Chris Jones could have a really big year. And it's not from a number standpoint for Peter Woods, more so if the D-line is better, if Chris Jones is better, it might be because Peter Woods actually broke out and was a force.
And then Karlaftis is healthier.
Yeah, and Karlaftis also was able to do things. So I think it might not be from a statistical standpoint, but we'll have to watch this one a little bit more, I think, than just looking at some numbers.
I guess what's interesting about Peter Woods is, and Bink, I'm sure that I'm alone on this, but I think Peter Woods is the single biggest swing player on their entire defense as far as how good their defense could be. For a lot of the reasons you mentioned, Drew, which is if Peter Woods is an immediate impact defensive lineman from the interior defensive line, so many of their previous year's problems on the defensive line are solved. George Karlaftis only has to beat a one-on-one, or Chris Jones only gets double-teamed 40% of the time instead of 55.
And Tonga,
or Tonga opening up running lanes, or some of the things that have just burned him. If Peter Woods is just pretty good, like a top 30% interior defensive lineman, it changes fundamentally what they're capable of defensively.
Do you feel, though, that Rice is the most to gain from the Chiefs? Because I think we talk about
he has the
Noah
most
Williams
to gain financially, probably.
100%. 100%. You look at like Zay Flowers, same draft as Rashee Rice, was drafted in the first round, though. They just picked up his fifth-year option, worth $27 million for the fifth-year option, right?
Yeah.
And which is a hell of a lot better than the second-round money that Rashee Rice is making. So he earned that this year, the fifth-year option. They'll work on a long-term contract with Zay Flowers and get that another deal. But I just look at a guy, the end of his 4-year contract coming up, and teams want to know about you. They want to know about your attitude. They want to know about staying out of trouble. You keep yourself out of trouble. You go out and have a year like a number one wide receiver should, and you've got the tools to do it. It's not like he's sitting over here with another quarterback. It's not like he's with Kyler Murray in Minnesota. He's with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. He's the number one wide receiver on a football team that's gone to 7 of the last 8 AFC title games. It's all right in front of him. I mean, it's literally all right in front of him to dominate. Not only that, you've got a running game now to distract from the passing game. So you got the running game to distract from that. You got Patrick Mahomes there.
But Kenneth Walker's not having a breakout season unless he has 1,300.
It's all there for him.
Yards.
But get over 1,000 yards. Be comfortable. Be reliable. Be that reliable receiver going forward. Be a true number one. And then make the decision tough.
If I could
we don't want to see him leave. Make the decision tough because they've stood by him. They've stood by him hand over foot for Rashee Rice.
By the same thing,
they've showed him loyalty.
You know what it should be? It should be Xavier Worthy. Rashee Rice, breakout years, just, hey, Rashee, could you just physically be available? All the things you're describing him doing, Bink, he's done if he's just on the field, either not through suspension or through injury. Xavier Worthy hasn't actually, proven that when he's on the field, he can do the things we're talking about.
Except his rookie year, towards the end, he had a good one. He had 155 yards in the Super Bowl.
But Worthy's on year blowout.
3. Worthy's on year 3.
He had 500 yards receiving last year.
But he's a first-round pick, so they can technically have him 2 more years.
Yeah.
He's on year 3.
Really, if
they
want
pick up the fifth-year option, 3 total seasons when you include the season with it. But, they could pick up the fifth-year option, have him for 5. This would be year 3. So he's still got time, I believe, but Rashee Rice doesn't have time.
In a season time is now. But in a season of disappointing performances, Worthy's had to be right at the top. He was a first-round pick 2 years ago. He was coming off a 638-yard season with 6 touchdowns. And like you said, some moments in a postseason that would make you think a big breakout's coming. And I understand what happened to his season. I know he got trucked by Travis Kelce and essentially never really recovered from it. But it's still pretty rough to look at 532 and a touchdown when people in Buffalo are ready to run Keon Coleman out by the legs and drag his ass out of town, saying that guy stinks and he's never getting any good. And his stats are pretty much what Worthy put up last year.
And they chose basically Coleman instead of Worthy because of the trade.
Yeah. And so, and neither of those guys have lived up to when they were selected up to this point. But, Worthy's got to be a lot better. I mean, a lot better, noticeably, 20, 30% better than he has been. I won't even accept going back to 638 and 6, not good enough.
And he would definitely
get to be an 800-yard receiver, be the second biggest weapon on this team at wide receiver.
Well, he'd benefit from Rashee Rice.
He should.
I just think, and Kenneth Walker being in that backfield, I just think it's like the perfect storm. It's like the perfect storm for him to have a good year. He's got the most to gain. He's making second-round money. He's not getting any of the endorsement deals. He's not even down at the local dealership on Saturday signing autographs like a lot of guys can.
He's advertising a really bad app in the middle of winter. It seemed kind of scammy.
Because
he was. That's how down bad he was.
I remember that.
Well, think about his legal fees that he paid. Think about it in the restitution.
Bink.
I mean, he's a second-round pick. He's probably burning through that money. And then you got a Zay Flowers picking up $27 million to stay with the Ravens, and he was the same draft.
I don't even mean this as a jerk. I'd be surprised if he has a cent. Like, just knowing how little you make as a second-round pick and how much money he must owe to the people he had to settle lawsuits with and the legal fees.
And not getting any endorsed. Not even the Nebraska furniture murders. They're not even selling mattresses.
I'd be genuinely surprised if he had money left.
And you know what? He could have. Had he stayed... Kept his nose clean. He could have been peddling Chevys. He could have been selling mattresses. He could have been selling hot tubs. He could have been doing any of this stuff. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get in the area of Mahomes, State Farm, and Gatorade and Oakley and stuff like that. That's a different stratosphere. But the secondary advertisements and marketing, he missed out on. So he missed out on all that basically free money.
Exactly. I don't feel bad for him. He did pretty much all of it to himself.
It's like, yeah.
A decent chunk of it. We were talking about corners with Noah Williams and Fulton and all these other guys. What percentage chance are we giving Snead to actually make the roster? I know fans are happy he's back. He was physical, but the knee was shot when they traded him. That was the right choice. He's barely played since he left Kansas City. We give him even a 50% chance to be a Chief? I give it 30, 35%.
I'm actually right there with you.
It's a vet deal, essentially minimum. It costs nothing to walk away from it. I think they like the veteran options, but it's I feel like it's a three-way race between him and Kohu and some seventh round or undrafted guy.
And here's the deal with Snead. Here's the deal with Snead. So when it came to remember his money, should they pay Snead or not? And the Chiefs said, yeah. But you remember, he did not practice at all that training camp.
No,
last year he was in Kansas City.
He didn't practice during the regular season.
He didn't.
They would sit him out, and he would just be healthy, non-practice, and then they would let him stretch on
Friday.
But
at training camp every day,
Sunday.
L'Jarius Snead didn't practice. Out of possible 34 games when he went to Tennessee, do you know how many games he played?
No.
A possible of 34. Any guesses, Drew? Out of a possible 34 games, how many games did he play?
12.
He nailed it.
Is that right?
He nailed it.
I was it's not much. I was maybe a little bit more than a third, but certainly not half is what I was thinking in my head when I was making
35% of Tennessee's games he played, and you're expecting something from that. I think whatever you get is a complete and total gift. Whatever you get from him is a gift because, again, he played 12 freaking games.
I mean,
he didn't even play a half season with them.
I'm just interested to see because I think we're talking about him as he's one of the offseason additions for the Chiefs that matter. And I think he probably should be discussed as he is one of the flyers the Chiefs took in the offseason of a possible roster player. It's hard because it's hard to separate as a Chiefs fan because you watched him be be one of your top end corners, win Super Bowls. You remember him when he was good.
Yeah.
You didn't watch any Tennessee Titans football over the last couple of years. Nobody who didn't hate themselves or on accident.
Tennessee fans definitely got something that they really here's one from the 816. I'm curious where this comes from, to be honest with you, because I want to follow up here, Cody. This text from the J. Southland Tow Service text line. I hope Rice drops everything thrown his way and nobody signs him in the offseason.
Well, then the Chiefs are not making the Super Bowl.
No,
are you willing to bail the season?
That, but that's not happening.
So who's your allegiance? Follow it up. Who's your allegiance? You a Broncos fan? You a Chargers fan? Because a Chiefs fan saying, I hope our number one receiver drops every single pass. You're not a Chiefs fan. You're not a Chiefs fan.
I hope Rashee Rice has 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns and then signs with the Jets in his office.
But if somebody says, I hope Rice drops everything.
I don't hope that Rice is bad this year.
Yeah.
I hope Rice is awesome this year.
Because I'm curious if this really is a Chiefs fan. I'm curious because why would you hope your number one receiver drops?
It's hard to. Rashee Rice has made it impossible to root for him. Is what it is. You root for the team, you root for the laundry. That's fine. But Rice himself has made it hard to be boy, I sure hope Rice gets it together because it's like any situation with athletes, and we've seen these time over and time again. It's Bink, you think the same thing. If I had the talent of Rashee Rice, I wouldn't have done any of this. Maybe I get too fast in a car and I cause an accident and I got a problem, but I'd be clean as a whistle after that.
Your ass would be taking Uber every day.
Yeah. And that's always the part of it where people don't, feel good about it or that version of it. And so you get stuck in this time loop essentially where it is hard to root for the person. But you have to root for the person to root for the team. But by the way, that's not just that could apply to Lots of things.
Yeah, because if
how
you
many times there's like a player or a person you don't like on a team and you still root for the team?
If you're literally rooting for Rashid Rice to drop every pass, you're not a Chiefs fan. You're just not.
Yeah.
Because that would be extremely bad if a number one wide receiver dropped every pass.
I did see the Chiefs. Did you see that they had a new partner for their new practice facility?
Oh, in Olathe?
It'll finally be. Yeah, they said. I thought it was Burns and McDonald's going to be
designing it.
I guess so. So
that's where training camp will be. Probably
it's a $300 million training facility.
Don't you think training camp will be in Olathe?
Yes, I do. Yep. Here's the bad news: is for Chiefs fans. I think there's a genuine chance that when the training camp goes to the practice facility, that it will be way less open to the public than it's ever been.
It's the way it usually goes.
Like, look, I complain about the Chiefs because they don't really do anything. They're very difficult to work on from a media perspective. They don't make anything easy. They make very hard work to work from a. But that's my problem. From a fan accessibility standpoint, no team in the NFL has a more accessible training camp than the Chiefs.
Absolutely, it would definitely change.
And for years, that goes back to Wisconsin, up to St. Joe. Nobody has had more available open times and places for teams to see their team practice in training camp than the Kansas City Chiefs. The second they go away from St. Joe, Bink, I just don't think it'll be the same.
I am curious though, because I know they're going to do another. They want to do another field, aren't they? Out by where the actual stadium will be, right?
Yeah.
MKCK. This one in Olathe, are they going to put stands around it? Because I had heard originally they were, because they like that whole Frisco, Texas model where they could host like state title games or the Olathe schools can play at it.
And if they do that, then it will be more open to fans. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, if there's a lot of stands, because I've heard they're going to put stands so they could host state title games and use it like a star for the Cowboys, where you can use it for multi-use facility.
I don't have any insider information on that. I'm just concerned that that's the way it'll go. Because most teams aren't that accessible.
When teams move back to their home facility, they have certain designated days to go watch practice.
The biggest reason, or the biggest comparison that I can make to this, because I was curious. So the Colts similarly have a stadium, downtown Indy. They practice in Westfield, which is a north suburb of there. Same sort of thing, facility, really nice. So this year they're hosting 13 practices. All are open to the public. General practices are free, but you got to pay for parking.
Okay.
And then you got
to pay $5 to park up there.
There are 6 primetime practices, $5 a ticket to get in. Those are not free.
Okay. There's a couple Chiefs do a couple like that.
I wonder if the Chiefs are. Yeah. I wonder if they fall in line with that sort of thing. Whereas it feels like the Colts haven't jumped into private practices. I know, at least from like the Bengals side of things, they practice like in the stadium some days, and then they've got the practice facility that they're, I think, in the process of building, but some of those aren't open to the public as much. So I think it depends. But I wonder if the Chiefs would go the Colts route, where they're generally open to the public, but you might have to pay for parking, or you might have some primetime ones where they're going to charge a fee for, just to try to collect a little bit from you.
Like, Drew, I'm looking at their schedule right now. The Bengals have an open to the public practice on the 29th and the 30th. Then they have one on. No, they've got one on the 3rd and the 4th as well. But then nothing on the 31st, 1st, nothing on the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th.
More private for sure.
The 9th, club level members can go to a practice. So 400 people if they're off of work. None again until the 16th. So they have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open practices to the public. Alex and I will personally be at 15, and there's probably another 7 that are open to the public on Saturdays and Sundays, and a day we randomly have a Royals day game or something.
Yeah.
So they might have 20 open practices. Cincinnati has 5.
Yeah.
That's a pretty significant difference.
Mm-hmm. It is.
That'd be a pretty big, steep drop off.
Do you remember when the Chiefs used to have that family fun night instead of a family fun day? Would be
I remember that. Yeah.
They'd practice at the stadium, Missouri Western Stadium, be at night. Mitch would host it. I remember even doing it at Arrowhead Stadium. They would move practice back and have a practice at Arrowhead.
It's going to stink. And that's going to be one of the crappy parts, is that Andy Reid will be gone. They'll have training camp at a practice facility, and the ability for fans to be there will essentially be none. Not none, but it'll just be reduced by 80% or reduced by 70%. Whatever the number will be, it'll be like this, Drew. 5 open practices where you can go. You got to get a ticket ahead of time just to make sure you get a seat. It'll be heavily limited to the total number of people, and then there'll be a couple, and the Chiefs have a season ticket member only day. One of the days Alex and I are up there, I think next Wednesday, or not next Wednesday, a week from Wednesday.
Yeah, one of the early ones.
Is a season ticket member only day, but their season ticket day is just club level. It's not even like the, people sitting up in the 300s. Like they're not even open up to that. And I'm not picking on Cincinnati. That is.
Yeah, it's a bulk of different teams.
That is most of the teams in the league. Yep. That's more teams than not than do it the way Kansas City does it. That's all I'll tell you. And so we'll see which way it goes, I guess, after that. I was just thinking about that as Alex and I be in training camp. You can start going. I think the team arrives next Friday. A week from today, you'll get the, hey, what did you bring for your room? And guys carrying up mattresses or whatever, or like when Sherman showed up in a tank or whatever. We'll get all that stuff a week from today. And then there's some open practices on the weekend, or at least some practice on the weekend. Maybe those are the
rookies and quarterbacks only the first couple days. Till the 29th.
And then Alex and I will be up there after that, so we'll see. When we come back, we'll get you what's trending. Plus, the Royals start baseball back up today. Is there any way to spend the second half in a way that doesn't make it seem like, I don't know, in a way in which we want to watch it? Let's put it that way.
What's up, KC? It's Carter Jensen. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Summer savings start now at Hy-Vee's 3-day summer sale. Save big this Friday through Sunday on summer favorites with hot deals throughout the store. Stock up and save big on fresh meat, produce, and other healthy finds. Want an easier way to shop? Order on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and we'll do the shopping for you. Save time, save money. Shop your way during the Hy-Vee 3-day summer sale this weekend only.
The Hy-Vee Market Grill is the best dining value in town. We love it for breakfast on the weekends, and now Thursday is steak day. You're going to get that perfectly grilled and seasoned steak with a baked potato and a side of sweet corn for just $12. You can't beat that deal anywhere in town. That's why the Hy-Vee Market Grill is a must on Thursdays for steak day. Dine in, carry out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're going to love the Hy-Vee Market Grill as much as I do. Don't forget, Thursday, $12 steaks, only at the Hy-Vee Market Grill.
This afternoon, expect a mix of sun, brief showers, and thunderstorms with a high of 91.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-738-9900. That's 800-738-9900. 800-738-9900.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to the home of the Royals, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
No, what's trending, Drew? Back in here on Cody and Gold. We'll get to what's trending here in just a half a second.
Old, producer error.
We were chatting. We got distracted. Got to play something. Can you give me the what's trending sound now? Let's hit it. Oh, wait. I thought you were going to find it quick. I'm sorry. I apologize. You just tell me when you're ready, Drew.
I am ready. Here we go.
All right, let's hit it.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti. Number one on what's trending. The Royals start back up and are in action today. They take on the San Diego Padres in a 7-10 matchup. It'll be Seth Lugo on the mound. He'll go opposite King on that end as well. The Royals currently 21 games under 500. I couldn't believe it. Did you see JT, former intern of this show? He was wearing a Padres shirt today. And he probably bought it when he was in San Diego on vacation or something. But he chose the wrong day.
I think wrong day.
He chose the day the Padres are facing the Royals. He's giving up his fandom. That's worse than a paper sack on your head, I think.
The World Cup third place game is tomorrow. France, Andrew, say it with me.
Spain?
England.
I thought you were going to say it in the accent.
There was a chance for your British accent. Never mind.
Too late.
Championship on Sunday,
It's
Argentina
hard to say
and Spain.
England in a British accent. It's England.
I'm just going to have you say England.
It's fair.
A cagey matchup.
2 o'clock on Sunday. Who do you guys? Well, that's McKenzie too. Who you got winning it? Drew, you going back to your original prediction to win the whole thing was Spain.
I made a bet on Spain at the beginning. That thing's still alive, which is nice. I will pick Spain to win.
You might want to hedge at this point. I don't know how much you bet on it, but even if it was 5 to win 10 to 1, I mean, staring down $50, maybe you just let it ride. I don't know.
You're the one that wants the communications trailer, so I assume you're Argentina. I am Argentina. I'm not going against Messi. As long as Messi's playing that.
I should find some super crazy long shot parlay for the match and figure out a way to 10 to win $40,000, and I can pay for the trailer if I hit it, Drew.
Do you want me to explore
see if you can build me?
Do that.
See if you can build me a parlay of goals first. How about this? First goal scorer, second goal scorer, third goal scorer, whatever it is in the direct order. And if I got it right, I could win enough for the trailer. At least $20,000. At least get me up to there. Next up on what's trending, Shams reporting that LeBron will not make an announcement soon. LeBron himself said that he's not yet ready to reveal his next team. Sounds like he's entertaining a lot of these other teams that we thought were slightly bigger long shots. Giannis is interested in him in Miami. Cleveland's been in the mix.
He was up there on the stage or something.
And so they're saying right now, don't expect an early decision from LeBron James as he continues to mull his future and which team he'll end up on next.
Home Run Derby sees smallest audience since 2003 with the ratings. It's very understandable because it was on Netflix and not something easier for people that people have, like an ESPN, let's say, to watch the game. So that's understandable. However, it drew 5.3 million viewers. Last year, it was on ESPN and ESPN2, and it drew 573. So it wasn't a lot more last year when it was on ESPN or ESPN2. Translation, maybe people are tired of it.
We'll talk about it coming up here a little bit later on, closer to after the random question, but certainly in the noon hour. Next up on what's trending, the British Open leaderboard update. I'll let Drew do it in his English accent.
He won't do it.
Later on in the show, Lucas Herbert currently in the lead, 8 under, shot a 62 today. Subers at 6 under, tied with Cam Young. There's a pair of guys in Burns and Molinari sitting at 5 under, and then a pretty long list after that. If you're curious, let me see if I can find where everybody always wants to know. DeChambeau, 4 under, tied for 6th. Aberg, 3 under. Where's Scheffler? Currently 3 under total on the 1 under on the day, 3 under for the tournament, currently through 10 holes. So he sits 5 shots back. That's actually not as slow of a start as he's been doing as of late. So maybe he can make that Saturday, Sunday push he's been doing in the last couple of tournaments. That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Did you find me a parlay?
I've got it up to
10 to win what?
10 to win $15,000.
Ooh, that's a solid
How much
offer.
to bet, Drew?
What has to happen for me to win $15,000?
How much to bet?
Our Argentina wins in the 90. In the 90 straight away. There's no extra time.
Okay.
Argentina Lionel Messi is the first goal scorer. Lionel Messi scores 2 goals. Dani Olmo for Spain is an anytime goal scorer, including extra time.
Okay.
Anytime goal scorer, including extra time, Enzo Fernandez, who scored a goal against England. Halftime result, Argentina's winning at halftime. And Lionel Messi gets an assist, and Lamine Yamal gets an assist.
What's he have to pay, Drew?
He said 10 to win $15K.
Oh, $10?
10 to win $15,894.
That would probably give me that
That's worth
trailer.
it, Cody.
I'd probably give me that trailer. That's a lot of things. So Messi would have to have an all-time match. Now, in fairness,
Messi would have to score 2 goals and get an assist,
which is not
Argentina's. I say this: if Messi does that, Argentina is definitely leading at halftime and leading at 90. They have to be leading at halftime.
They have to be leading at halftime.
Okay, and leading after 90.
They have to lead at halftime and win in 90 minutes, no extra time.
Okay. Ooh, okay. All right, I like this. Drew, send it to me.
You should do it.
I want to buy that comms trailer, but if you missed it earlier in the show, Odyssey Legal caught wind.
You know, 50,000.
Our guy Johnny Palumbo said, "No dice." Can be asking for money that way.
15K might get it. To be honest, it might go free, but 15K would definitely get it.
I think right now, if I sent that person a message and said, "I'll give you 10K, 15K," I don't know why they wouldn't take it.
Yeah, you can keep $5,000 to your winnings.
Again, I don't know who besides me is genuinely trying to purchase this. But the problem is now all the local TV networks have picked it up. We brought too much attention to it. It was on Fox 4 this morning. There's a KCTV5 article on the fact that it's available.
If we'll have to ask McKenzie when she comes in if she knows about it, because if she knows about it, then it's definitely spread beyond. Are you still the only person watching it, though?
Yes.
See, that's the weird thing. So it's been brought up, but nobody is interested enough, probably because they saw the price of it and were like,
yeah,
I don't know about this.
In fairness, the KCTV5 article says, the ultimate World Cup keepsake just hit Facebook Marketplace and eBay. Someone can buy the prefab communication studio reportedly used by Argentina during the 2026 stay at the Origin Hotel. The temporary room is listed at $40,000. It's the same size as a one-car garage, comes with carpet, also wired for power, and decked out in Argentina's mural paint and decals.
I guarantee you Messi was in there because it's got the 4 chairs set up where the team would sit and speak and answer questions, right? I guarantee you he was brought in there. He probably sat in one of these chairs. You got to figure out which chair he was in.
KCTV5's listen to this show. You want to know what the last line of this thing was? It seems like the perfect space.
Oh, boy.
For whoever is ready to turn their backyard in the most hardcore fan cave in the neighborhood. How dare you?
Yep.
That was my idea for Messy Taps, and I can't have people buying it. You know?
This thing is large, man. This thing would...
size of a one-car garage, man.
Yeah, it's a...
But I can't take your money.
You see how cool these chairs are? Where they were sitting? The leather, the teal and the black, the chairs?
Mm-hmm. Looks cool, but again, I can't think. Odyssey says I can't take the money. They say, Johnny Palumbo says, no. No. There are, let me check it again. I haven't checked it in a while. There is 1 hour and 9 minutes left in the original eBay auction listing. There are currently 0 bids. There are currently, 8 people watching this item. True.
Wow.
So I am not the only one.
How much time does it have left?
But also, we've talked about it on the show a bunch.
What's the time left on it?
1 hour and 9 minutes.
Oof.
I'll check on it during the Cody Gold garage sale. I'll check it on Facebook Marketplace when that time expires too. I'll give you 1,000, or I'll just move it for you. You know, what do you need from me? What do you need, lady? No one's giving you whatever, 40 grand for this.
On that TV5 article, it's got her, the person selling it. It's got a little video. She's on it.
Yeah, we'll talk.
It's a Fan Club Friday.
Are you actually going to put $10 on that parlay?
Yeah, I might. Why not?
Okay.
I gotta find some way to get it together.
I will say
I can't get the scratch together using the listeners anymore.
Hold on. If you do win, can you send me 500 of that?
500?
I would ask for more, but if you could send me 500,
I need the rest to buy the trailer.
Yeah.
So
If
the problem is I can only send you so much.
If you could give me like a few hundred,
Danny Olmo.
You probably deserve that for coming up with that parlay.
That seems fair. 500's fair. 500's fair. I'll give you more than that if I can't buy the trailer for 10.
Okay.
But it's got to go. As much of the money as possible has to go to the trailer.
That would be pretty insane.
It's got to go as much as possible to making an offer on that thing. Let's talk a little Royals baseball. Then I want to talk something about Josh Allen that I think people are kind of ignoring, at least on this end. But Royals start up today, and I feel like what I said to Jake is how I feel about the rest of the season, which is now, Bink, what it feels like is not an audition, because that's weird. Normally I would say an audition for young players to prove that they're good. The young players are actually the one playing well. Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen have been the 2 best players other than Bobby Wood Jr., and so, they're not auditioning anything. I feel like I want to see, for the rest of the way, Vinny Pasquantino, Michael Garcia and praying something from Salvador Perez that shows we're still the guys. The thing is, I still think they're on the team to start next year. I don't think they're going anywhere, Bink. But in a way, they can still at least bring me back some of the confidence to say, oh, no, we still got it. Like, no fears here. And look, Vinny's been one of the most consistent hitters in all of baseball. Michael Garcia was coming off a career year. Salvador Perez has been a very consistent guy. But can you, for the rest of the year, remind us why the team put the amount of faith as they did in you to hit 2-3-4, 1-3-4, whatever it is, 3-4-5, the middle of the order? Can for you the rest of the season prove what we knew once about you, that there's no questions about it? Is that a weird way to look at the rest of the season? Because, like, they're 21 games under 500.
No.
I'm not going to daydream about some possibility of going on some run. That's too gone for me. A player or a front office member, they can dream about that. That ain't for sports talk radio. But I do think that I would like to have those guys show why they were middle of the order bats.
What I asked Jake was, is there anything they can take from the first half to apply to the second half? He was talking about the runs and their offense. It was looking at July. Since July 1st, right? Here's the run production for the Royals. Since July 1st. 0, 2, 1, 5. Then there was those 2 days that were unexplainable. There were 31 runs in 2 days. That Philly game and the Mets game. They scored 15 and 16. Asterisk or not. Because since then, it's been 2, 3, 3, 1, and 2. It's not been over 3. So there was an explosion of runs.
So being the best, like Jake said, like, hey, they've got one of the best since June 1st. I'm like, yeah, they scored like 60 runs in 2 nights.
Yeah,
and then
31 runs in 2 days.
They're not consistent.
It's like James Winchester on your roster when you're looking for average age. Things change. Things can be the anomaly.
Like, I just, like, so much of it is just, how else am I supposed to view the rest of the way? I want the confidence, because the truth is, and this is something that, like, we should probably just, as a Royals fan, you should probably accept, a huge chunk of this year's roster is next year's roster. The bullpen will change some, but when we're talking about the offense, and this is why I mentioned those 3 names, the offense is the offense. Next year, guess who will be in the lineup? Bobby, Vinny, Salvi, Michael Garcia, Carter Jensen, Jack Caglione. Those names aren't changing. Those are the names. Hell, I'd even probably pencil in Kyle Isbell.
Kyle Isbell, yeah.
Like, I genuinely do not think there's going to be some dramatic shift in the lineup
starting
from
pitching
this year's
will
to next
change.
year. So, like,
it might. We'll have to see what happens. If nothing happens, Lugo or Walker, it's still Lugo, Walker, and Cameron. Bubic's probably gone.
Yeah,
but
I'd love to watch
3 of the 5. Probably we know.
Yeah, I'd love to watch Cameron and Avila pitch well too. Fine, I really would. But the pitching staff can change. That will likely be the area in which the team changes the most, but not the lineup. The lineup is the lineup. So you're looking for these reasons to be like, yeah, just remind me who you are. Right? And like in a lot of ways, it's easy to, believe it in some other places. Because I, for the longest time, just kept saying like, well, Salvador Perez always has stretches like this. But we can't talk like that anymore, Salvador Perez. We got to talk about whether or not this is the end. Whether he just doesn't have it at all anymore, Yeah. And maybe a week off and a little bit of time and some video stuff, maybe that helps him a lot. Vinny was hitting better before he got hurt. So maybe he was coming around. His overall season numbers are nowhere near as bad as Salvi's have been. And so, like, so much of this is just like, I'd love for those guys to prove the rest of the way why it is that we had faith in them going into the season, and hopefully why we can have renewed faith.
I think coaching staff changes will
help
shift that with the hitting coaches, the manager, whether he stays or goes, whatever. But I think coaching changes, that will affect it. So not completely, because you're still looking at the team. You're still looking at the hitters, the pitchers, who do we got? But I think that does make a small amount of difference. Well, I mean, in Zumwalt's case, it might make a huge difference as far as what the fans think.
Yeah, it very well might. We'll talk some more Royals, maybe with McKenzie Nelson. She's going to join us for a little Fan Club Friday, brought to you by Jay Rieger and Company. We'll have a little fun talking with her. Of course, Baseball Talk on 96.5 The Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. Bink, I will say, we were having a lot of these quarterback conversations. I saw somebody in Philly trying to compare Jalen Hurts last couple of years to Mahomes. And I don't have the energy most of the time because I'm tired of these stupid quarterback debates in which you're not even bringing up a quarterback who's in the regular part of the debate with the other ones. So forget that one for a minute. And a conversation, something I mentioned very briefly to Nate Taylor that I do not think gets nearly enough discussion. And it is a problem for Bills fans going forward. And it's why the fact I can't remember who it was. Somebody said they still think Josh Allen is going to win. You'd mentioned this before the show. Someone was saying they still think Josh Allen's going to win a couple titles.
Oh, it was on with
a couple?
A couple. Multiple was the stance. I can't
It
remember.
was Garrett, Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett. So I still think Josh Allen's going to win a couple titles. I do not think people understand that Josh Allen cannot keep running like this and that his body will eventually not allow him to do it. And I mean this with like 100% certainty because what I get when I bring this up to people is that, what do you mean? He is much bigger, much stronger. He's not Lamar Jackson, right? He's not Michael Vick. He's a big guy. And I can't help but point this out. I have never seen a quarterback run like this forever and the wheels not eventually come off. Not Randall Cunningham, not Cam Newton, not any of them, Bink. I've watched
Steve Young did still run well in his 30s, though.
Yeah.
But wasn't nearly at size.
But yes, but like it's still, but not as well as he did when he was young. Josh Allen can't keep running like this, or Bink, his body's going to fail him. That's the truth. The same way it failed Cam Newton. And Cam Newton, I'll be honest, I've stood next to both of them, or I've stood in the same room. I don't think I've stood next to. I don't think I was like, we weren't shoulder to shoulder. But I've stood in the room that that version of it is inside. And like this portion, like I don't think he can continue it forever. Cam Newton could do it for, I don't know, till he was like 30. And then he couldn't anymore. Steve Young, I'm pulling up now, Bank. Maybe there's an exception to this rule.
Well, no, he's never, I mean, sure, he had 454 yards rushing.
But that's like Mahomes running. I'm not talking about that. But Josh Allen runs 1,000.
At 37 years old. He had 454 at 37.
Steve Young is not the size of Cam Newton, though. Cam Newton's like 6'5",
he's much different size. Steve was stout, but not nearly as tall as heavy. He was came in at 6'2", 215. So, he's about 6'2", 220, something like that. He's not the smallest of guys, but he's definitely not that size. But it's few and far between. Steve Young was just a different kind of guy. He's just a great athlete.
Yeah, but like, again, Bink, that's not running for 200 yards, which he did, by the way. When he was 30, okay, great. When he was 30 years old, he ran for 400 yards, 293 when he was 33, 250 when he was 34. That's not running.
But at 37, he had 454.
But that's not that many yards. That's not running the way Josh Allen was running.
No.
He's running the way Cam Newton was, and anybody will break down. Josh Allen, genuinely, I think he's got 2, max 3 more years running like this. And it might be less. He might take one hit that changes that math. He might take one that completely moves the needle on that and, changes the perspective. And so that, I don't think it's forever. Anybody else want to take the other side? Drew, you're usually anti-Josh Allen.
What was John Elway's rushing numbers when he got older?
I think we talked about this before. I don't think Josh Allen is winning one.
You don't think so?
He hasn't even gotten to one yet.
I mean, someone's not winning it out of the group.
No, he hasn't even gotten to one yet.
But if you made me guess right now, I'd guess Lamar. Because Lamar's legs might catch up with him faster than Josh Allen's because the injuries have caught up.
That conversation's already happening now, yeah.
Yeah. So, if you made me guess right now, of the 3 guys who feel like they should win one in their career, right? Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Lamar's ranked last in the likelihood camp now, even though he's got the best roster this year. But, I get it. Maybe catching up with him faster.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen's still the most likely of the 3, in my opinion. He's in the easier division.
He makes the playoffs more often.
He's won more divisions.
To this point, he hasn't had health issues at all, really.
In a weird way, it hurts Joe Burrow that he had his chance to win one and didn't. Because sometimes these quarterbacks are only going to get there 1 or 2 times. Yes. Joe Burrow got there once and didn't complete it. So that's also part of it. And somebody pointed out Steve Young started late, too. So maybe it's easier to run when you're 33 when you start at 27.
His whole Hall of Fame career came in his 30s.
Yeah. And so, I don't think people realize he can't run like this forever, Bank. No. He will eventually, I pointed this out, and we were talking about Cam Newton. Cam Newton is the most ludicrously sized person I have ever seen play the position they have played in any football player I've ever been around.
It's a freak, man.
He's 6'6", 250, and he played quarterback.
Look like a tight end.
He was also the strongest. He was broad. He was thick, his legs looked like the size of a Buick. He was huge.
Stylistically,
and if you're telling me that body could break, and if you tell me that body could break down because of being hit too many times, how the hell could Josh Allen's not?
You know what I'm curious, though? Here's the thing I'm curious. I brought it up with Nate just a little bit. Justin Fields. And I know it's ridiculous talking about a backup quarterback, but Justin Fields I think can be a real weapon for this team. And I think Andy Reid will use him as a weapon. You know, I did bring it up. He actually has more yards rushing in a single season than Ken Walker does.
Bink,
which is a crazy thing. Dude can run
Cody,
from
that
a quarterback
scares
run.
Gold. You just saying that, I think, is a...
But it's a guy, when he comes on the field, you're not sure what the hell he's going to do because he can throw, obviously that.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy got an MVP vote just a couple years ago. Not great. The team's never had success. But dude ran for over 1,100 yards in a season, second most ever by a quarterback, which means when you think, well, all right, Mahomes is not going to run on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, when a Justin Fields comes in, it gives you so many things to confuse the defense with. All right, what the hell is he going to do? Is he going to throw because he can't throw? Or is he going to run? Again, he's got over 1,100 yards rushing in a season. He has more than Ken Walker.
This is probably sacrilege. I hope Justin Fields does not play a single snap. Okay, to be clear. I hope he does not step foot on a football field this season. And he is just available as a backup.
You don't want to see a trick play with him?
Bink, I will say this. If any defense sees Mahomes trot off the field and Justin Fields comes in, I don't care if it's 3rd and 1, I don't care if it's 4th and 1. I'm like, well, okay.
Great news.
Let's go. We don't have to deal with that, man.
Here's the thing, though. What if he doesn't trot off? What if they put Justin in the huddle, and then when they go up to line, you're not sure what Mahomes is doing? Is he going to go in motion and split out? Is Justin in the backfield and he's going under center?
Who else is on the field is my question. Because if it's
so now I'm just taking an entire another weapon who could be on the football field?
That's what I'm saying.
It looks like Mahomes is going to the quarterback. He goes in motion. Justin Fields then takes a snap. I'm saying there's so many options they could do.
You're going to ask Patrick Mahomes off an ACL to run a route?
If you have a guy like Fields that has over 1,100 yards rushing in the NFL season, who you know can throw as well, if you're not utilizing a trick play with him, we're talking about a team that ran the ring around the rosy play. We're talking about people that have put Patrick Mahomes in motion before. We are talking about the Rose Bowl right play you bring into the Super Bowl. Andy Reid is the king of these type of situations. And that is, to me, a weapon to have behind Patrick Mahomes, a quarterback with that kind of athletic ability. We're not talking about Joe Schmo here. I'm not talking about Garrett Nussmeier coming in. I'm talking about a dude that's got more yards in a season than Ken Walker.
I think it's also an accident waiting to happen. It's an accident waiting. You're asking for something bad to happen.
I'm not asking for him to play a series. I'm talking about a snap.
I'm putting a snap where someone can technically jam Patrick Mahomes at the line of scrimmage. Pass.
Can you imagine? He gets the first down, but you're all fired up, but then Justin Fields fumbles the ball. It is a disaster waiting to happen.
You don't think he could run the tush push?
No. He's not strong enough. The tush push is for stronger players.
Josh Allen can barely even get first downs on the tush push.
That's lower body. I'd rather Garrett Nussmeier run the tush push.
Josh Allen gets a ton of first downs.
I genuinely.
Not ones that matter.
I think this boils down to one very simple thing for me. The Chiefs have the single most talented.
Justin is 6'3", 227 pounds. He's a large man at quarterback who has 1,100 yards rushing. You're telling me that guy can't get 1 yard?
You're taking arguably the greatest quarterback of all time out of the game so Justin Fields can run 1 yard?
I'm talking about
me with that.
I'm not talking about all the time. I'm talking about sporadic needed plays.
If it's 4th and inches and they want to run a tush push, I said that I would let any quarterback do that. I'd let Travis Kelce do that. So that's not the position. You're talking about putting him in there for some athletic reason, not just to go an inch. And I'll just it's really simple for me
you put him in the backfield and do a double pass.
That's just like a nightmare.
I'm not taking Patrick Mahomes off the field in any way, shape, or form.
The Chiefs
for
have
Justin Fields.
He doesn't have to leave the field.
That's it for me, Drew. The Chiefs have the single most talented quarterback in NFL history. There is no play, in my opinion. There is no play, in my opinion, that is more likely to succeed that does not have Patrick Mahomes on the field than one that does.
He would stay on the field, but he's coming off an ACL. I'm just saying.
Why is he on the field then?
So now we can just get shoved at the line of scrimmage?
You got a 6'3", 230-pound quarterback with the second most yards rushing ever in a season from an NFL quarterback, and he's just going to sit there? He's just going to sit there and not going to use him on a trick play or something?
Yes.
I'm just saying, you would use Mahomes 99% of the time. I'm saying you bring him in the huddle, you don't know where Mahomes is going to go. Is he going to go in motion? Is he going to be throwing the football?
Why is my quarterback with an ACL running in motion?
And then all of a sudden, Justin Fields is just a decoy. Patrick Mahomes, he throws the ball, but Justin Fields is out there as the decoy because the defense is going, all right, he getting the ball.
Right, and because it's some weird play, the left tackle forgets he's supposed to block the unblocked guy. No.
You have a 6'3", 230-pound quarterback that can run.
I'd rather run.
Use it.
I'd rather run all streaks.
I'd rather hand the ball off to, I'd rather hand the ball off to Peter Woods, who's lining up at fullback, than run.
Tonga does some fullback.
Fine.
Short yardage. If it's 4th and inches, and they're gonna, for the first time in NFL history, decide they're gonna participate with the rest of the league and do the tush push, I'm in. But they're not gonna do that either.
But you could do it with him.
But they're not gonna do it because it's adding in a play for one player who's not even gonna be here next year.
Doing it. They've tried everybody doing this. This is a legitimate guy.
They did it a while for Blake Bell. They actually did it with someone.
This is a legitimate guy that could do it.
But Bink, I understand he can do it, but it's the one time when something goes wrong, and you're going to tell me that Justin Fields has the ball in his hands in a moment that's important, it would be disastrous. And Andy Reid would get put on blast, deservedly so.
They're up 20-0 against the Raiders.
What if it doesn't matter? You're like, man, that was genius. That was genius what he did.
It's not genius because everybody else does it. It just works. There's no genius to it. It's, hey, the play worked.
Justin Fields averages almost 6 yards a carry in his career. He's got 23 rushing touchdowns. He averages 5.9 yards per carry.
That's less than Mahomes, probably.
Again, he has 1,143 yards rushing back in 22 in a season. So, I'm just saying, man.
I'm saying to you as well, any team, any defense that you see Patrick Mahomes, because, again, yes, you can put Patrick Mahomes somewhere else. You're telling me that a cornerback won't try to press him at the line of scrimmage?
I'm just saying,
off an ACL?
For a team that runs the ring around the rosy play, Rose Bowl right and all that, you telling me that Andy Reid doesn't like gadget plays. Andy Reid freaking loves gadget plays.
Binkley, can I point out one thing about him that you are choosing to ignore? All these yardage and touchdowns, like
fumbles.
Would you like to know the number of career fumbles for Justin Fields?
I would say 22.
Yes, I do.
48.
Yeah, you can.
That man has fumbled the time 48 times in his career.
I would not trust him at all because the one Bink, they would trust him.
48.
Bink,
how many fumbles does Josh Allen have?
Bink.
It ain't 48. I don't think.
I swear, if it works all season long and in a playoff game, they run a QB draw, whatever it is, I don't care what it is, and Justin Fields fumbles and they lose the game. That is a fireable offense.
What if they win it because of?
It is a fireable offense.
What if they win it because of? They need that third down, man. 3rd and 1, they need to keep the football, and he gets it.
Then you can say the play worked, but if it doesn't work, then it is a fireable offense
but I can make
to take the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands for Justin Fields.
Josh Allen has 41 career fumbles.
Patrick Mahomes is genuinely, and think about how many more games and carries that is than Justin Fields. I guess part of this is
he's carried it 100 he's carried it 871 times, 5.4 per. So Justin's averaged almost a half yard more rushing than Josh Allen.
Patrick Mahomes again might have a higher average than both of those guys.
I get the concept of having a package for him, but at the same time, if you're going to take it just doesn't make any sense to. I get that there's gadget plays and everything like that, but how often? Like, what is the percentage of those that matter that make a big difference? Like, I get a gadget play in the second quarter
because the Chiefs they have Patrick Mahomes and it's 3rd and 2.
That's
what
I'm
is
saying.
Their overall success rate? What's the Chiefs' overall success rate on 3rd and 2 with Patrick Mahomes? Like 70%? 60%?
Fields has almost 3,000 yards rushing in 5 seasons. Can you name a Chiefs running back to have over 1,100 yards in a season?
Bink, you don't even have to hand the ball off.
Besides
put the ball in the hands of your quarterback that might be the GOAT and let him throw a slant.
I'm just saying, he comes on the field, you use
I don't care what it
he
is.
could just be a decoy. He come on the field, Mahomes doesn't leave. He could go in motion. You could set him out wide. You could do a million different things, but the defense thinks. And that's all you want to do is make the defense think what you're going to do. That's the most valuable thing an offense could do is have the defense start having this cognitive dissonance. They're not sure what you're going to do.
I would just say, so I'm not even a Chiefs fan. So help me, if they were to run one of these and he fumbles the ball, never do it again. Never do it again.
What if he keeps picking up first downs?
Of course, that's different, Bink. But
Andy hates fumbles too.
But Bink,
he does.
Bink,
that's true.
It's anytime you take the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hand, I think you're asking for a problem with another quarterback. I understand that Kenneth Walker can fumble.
I'm telling you
this.
They're not trading a draft pick in the 27 draft like they did for him for no reason. He's here for a reason. He's here for a reason. Justin Fields is in Kansas City for a reason.
I don't know, man.
If they lose a playoff game,
he's not a Gatorade bottle. He's not going to be sitting around.
If they lose a playoff game because they get cute and have Justin Fields running a play and they fumble, it is a fireable offense.
You can say that about anybody fumbling
We
on
got to
trick
go to
play.
break. We're way late. When we come back, we'll get to the random question of the day. We'll talk a little bit about what it takes each team to trade for some of these Chiefs.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically transfers to the substitute who replaces them. Go to FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by the first ever Infiniti QX65 and by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's.
England has embraced the expectations that come with being a favorite. The Three Lions blend physical midfield play, dangerous set pieces, and clinical finishing, earning a place among the final contenders with consistent performances throughout the tournament.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Where can you find an extensive line of Blue Demon welding supplies, filler, rods, and wire? Metal by the Foot, located in Casey and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back in here on Cody and Gold. Cody Tapp, Jay Binkley, Drew Nixon with you. Coming up in 10 minutes, I got a random question of the day. It is about junk. Not that way. Come on, easy. It's a Friday. We don't have to be in the gutter about it.
Based on the text line as well, Cody, either you and I are going to be right, or Justin and Justin Fields is going to fumble, or Justin Fields is going to make a play that wins them the Super Bowl, and Bink is going to be able to dunk on us for the rest of our lives.
Look, and I won't care if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl and Justin Fields has some 80-yard run on a trick play. Cool. I'm not against him succeeding.
Hey, listen, the minute they drafted Mahomes, this town dunked on me, Drew. This text line,
oh, yeah,
I was the only guy in the media that wanted Mahomes, the Chiefs to draft Mahomes.
That's not true.
You did, maybe a few, but I mean, here.
Oh,
and
I was like, I did.
But everybody wanted Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was the clear answer by
That's what
one
I thought they were going to take.
And the text line told me as much that night. Oh, this is a mistake. He didn't win at Texas Tech. If I kept receipts from that night, and all the people just dogging the Chiefs drafting Mahomes, this is never going to work out. It's hilarious because this text line was 80% against the draft pick. They wanted Deshaun Watson, so I don't want to hear any nonsense.
I didn't want Deshaun Watson, but I thought that's who they were going to take. I wasn't anti-Deshaun Watson. I just wanted
now
Mahomes
you definitely don't want Deshaun Watson.
I'm just saying the text line wanted Deshaun Watson.
One of the single worst trade in NFL history.
Oh man, this guy's much more proven. You're crazy. It's never going to work out. I think, well, 3 Super Bowl wins later, 5 Super Bowl appearances. Who's right?
Someone says Mahomes is coming off an ACL. Fields will get used. How much? You think he's getting 5 snaps a game out there, quarterback?
Not even that. Not even close to that.
The ACL has nothing to do with it. And he likes trick plays, and
There'll be trick plays from time to time throughout the season.
Here's the other part about this.
It could be in a big game. It could be in a game that doesn't matter as much. Who knows when they come?
The other part of this, and the last comment I'll make on it, and then we'll move on to something else. But you do realize that part of the reason they want Justin Fields and why they signed veteran backups is because they want to make sure that they're there in case there's an issue. Seeing how their quarterback is coming off of a serious injury, maybe keep the guy who is the backup safe from injury so he doesn't go out there and try to run some stupid in-around nonsense, get his head taken off, and now we're one snap away from Garrett Nussmeier. No, thank you. No.
Yeah, because we saw a lot of kind of experience.
No, thank you. Let's get into a little bit about the Chiefs and some of the trades suggested over at ESPN, and then we'll get to the random question of the day in just a few minutes. Look, admittedly, a huge part of this article is football hasn't started back up, so people are writing their articles that are just fun. Bill Barnwell wrote an article of how many players per team could net back a first-round pick. And while I think the more interesting part of this is the number of players, because it says something about your top-end talent, he says ones that he think would get at least 1 first-round pick. Mansour Delane, Creed Humphrey, Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, Josh Simmons, and Trey Smith. That's more than I would have thought going into it. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes. And so
was Noel on there too? No,
Noel wasn't on there.
Most redrafts have him as a first rounder.
Yeah, but they probably wouldn't give up a first rounder if he was available in the trade market. And so, if available in the trade market, those are the players he thinks could do it. Like, and if you look across the league and you're like, all right, what's a roster that we think is one of the best rosters? Rams, do we all agree? That's one of the best rosters in the NFL. He says that they would have Braden Fisk, Puka Nacua, Kobe Turner. He said maybe some other guys. He said at least McDuffie, Matt Stafford, Byron Young as well. And so you're like, okay, yeah, that's about the same number when you think about it, and Myles Garrett, who obviously got that. But so when you look at it, it's like they have more, but it's not outside of that. The thing everyone's hung up on is how many first-round picks he said it would get Patrick Mahomes. And then he claims it would take, jokingly, more to get Josh Allen than it would Mahomes. I'm not going to dip into the debate that is Josh Allen worth more first-round picks than Mahomes? That's crazy. But I'll just tell you right now, if a team offered what he's suggesting, I wouldn't take it. He says in this article he thinks it would take 7 first-round picks to get Mahomes.
Same with Josh. They have the same number.
I would hang up immediately. No, thank you. Because genuinely, if you just use all 7 of those first-round picks and just spend them on quarterback the entire time, what percentage chance would you have of getting even 90% of Patrick Mahomes? 5? 10%?
Yeah.
Because I know the picks I'd be getting aren't very good because Patrick Mahomes would be their quarterback. So, the picks I'm getting back are all in the 30s. So, thanks for nothing on that end. But even if I said if I used half on one draft and half on the other, and I had the number 1 overall pick 2 years in a row, what are the odds I will get a quarterback even 90% as good as Patrick Mahomes? 10? 15%? No. The point of this article is I look at it as how many first-round talents do you have? That tells me more, Bink, than how many first-round picks Mahomes had. Would you trade 7 first-rounders? 10, 20? How many would it take?
Oh, jeez.
There is no number. It's idiotic.
Yeah, because it's the only thing you strive for in football is have that franchise quarterbacks that could change
to trade in the middle of the single greatest moment in your franchise?
At least a decade. By the way, Burrow was 4 first-round picks value for Burrow.
That would be way under, by the way.
Bill Barnwell puts this out every year. He puts this out all the time. And he says that, hey, this always seems crazy, but people thought I was crazy, not me, but Bill Barnwell, for thinking Micah Parsons. What would he be valued with? Well, he was traded. Then we saw Sauce Gardner go for 2 first-round picks. Justin Herbert was the same as Joe Burrow with 4 first-rounders.
Yeah, you're telling me Sauce gets 2, but Joe Burrow only gets 4? No way. When they play 2 completely different positions.
He's definitely worth more than Justin Herbert.
If that was the actual going rate on the market, every team in the NFL that had a quarterback right now, who didn't have a quarterback right now, would give the 4 first. Matter of fact, if I had
easily,
if I were the Broncos, for instance, and I had Bo Nix, and I said I'll give you Bo Nix and 4 first-rounders. If I were Denver, I'd still make that trade. You can have the next 4 first-round picks, and I'll give you Bo Nix. And you just go ahead and slide Joe Burrow over.
If I was Denver, I'd give you the next 5 first-round picks or 6 first-round picks. Are you kidding me? You pair that defense? Come on now. Come on now.
It wouldn't even be there. And that's the problem. And that's the difference in the NFL versus almost any other sport, is because there truly isn't a number. There isn't a number of first-round picks that I would even say I would genuinely listen to. Because the idea of being in the single greatest moment of your franchise's history, coming in all these Super Bowl titles, the idea of even considering trading that player at 30 years old, there is no number.
Yeah.
They could say, we'll give you all 53 players on our roster and the next 10 first-round picks. I'd be like, I'm okay. What good's that going to do me? I can't have all these players on the field at the same time. It doesn't, there's no number because it can't equate what that one player can do. That's the problem. It just doesn't, nothing can equate the number.
No, would you trade a first-round pick for any of the following, though? Delane, obviously, just got him. So then Creed Humphrey, Chris Jones, Karlaftis, Simmons, and Trey Smith. I think the text line would go with Karlaftis and Jones.
Would Trey Smith get a first-round pick? That was the only one I wondered about.
Trey Smith would get a first-round pick.
Wait, hold on. What you would trade who? Would the Chiefs trade who for a first-round pick?
Delane, Humphrey, Jones, Karlaftis, Simmons, or Smith.
I would trade Chris Jones for a first-round pick in a heartbeat.
Okay, I figured that's the easy one there.
I wouldn't trade Simmons.
I would trade Karlaftis for a first-round pick.
Same.
I wouldn't do that. In the offseason, I would.
It depends on how bad the team you're trading with is. Where's the pick going to be?
If we're talking pre-NFL draft, I would trade Karlaftis for a first-round pick. If we're talking now, no.
I would now, hell no.
Would the team have to be projected to be a top 15 pick or
something like that? Yeah.
I mean, projected, yeah, but I would much rather trade a player before the draft, knowing that I would at least be able to bank on a pick that year,
All
or
right,
I know
Ben.
they're picking at.
Because into the first round be tough.
Here's a better question on the quarterback stuff, and then we'll get to the random question of the day. How many first-round picks to swap Allen and Mahomes? Everything else stays the same. Andy, Spags, same offense, same defense. You get Josh Allen, they get Patrick Mahomes. How many first-round picks do they got to send your way?
3.
See, the number's a lot. That's the only one in which, like, the number at least is like, I can give you a number in which I would probably
if it's
be
an elite
like,
quarterback for an elite quarterback, then yeah, the number's
then
different.
you'd probably be like, oh man,
the Bills would
3
have to,
first-round
Because
picks.
I truly believe Josh Allen would have won Super Bowls here.
If I was the Chiefs,
I don't think 3, but he
man.
would have won. At least he would at least won 1.
I would be asking, just given like for the health question too. I think they would have to. The Bills would have to at least send 3 with Josh Allen.
How many Super Bowl rings would Mahomes have in Buffalo, and how many would Josh Allen had they started?
Mahomes would have
careers?
1 or 2 in Buffalo, and Allen would have 1 or 2 here.
Okay, so about the same.
That's what I genuinely think is probably.
So it'd be about the same if they had careers starting
Look,
in different places.
It's a weird thing about Mahomes. I've never denied the fact that he landed in probably what is the perfect situation. But I'm also a huge proponent of these quarterbacks who are like, oh, just like wrong. No, they'd be good. Like, you can't screw up a quarterback that bad. They would mostly be good anywhere. Now, Sam Darnold would probably like to place a phone call on that, or Baker Mayfield. There are probably exceptions where it is so bad they could set you back. But genuinely, I think, Bink, had Patrick Mahomes come to the league drafted by the Jets, that would be one of the preeminent teams in the AFC right now. Maybe he wouldn't have won. Maybe he'd have 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah, because they'd done a great job with the other talent.
Or 1 Super Bowl appearance. But they'd still be one of the elite teams in the AFC if Patrick Mahomes.
Could you say the same thing about Cleveland?
Yes.
Cleveland runs everybody.
Even in Cleveland. Patrick Mahomes is too good. Baker's a good quarterback. He can be ruined by that. He's a good quarterback. He can be ruined by a bad circumstance.
I think Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is an
Cleveland.
elite quarterback.
Yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes could overcome Cleveland.
I think the perfect example, actually, believe it or not, is Drew's team. Cincinnati has been a poorly run franchise for an eternity. They were a laughingstock for a stretch of years before Joe Burrow showed up and they had the number 1 pick. They were awful.
The only other
and Joe
one,
Burrow got drafted and they were immediately decent.
The only other one that I think could have done what Joe Burrow did in that 21-22 stretch is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't think Lamar could have done it. I don't think Josh Allen could have done it. The only one who could have done the exact same thing or won it, whatever you want to say, because you want to give Mahomes credit, that's fine. The only one who could have made it to a Super Bowl and had a chance to win with that roster was Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Mahomes has done it with some bad rosters, so I agree with that. And it's just like...
And Josh Allen has never had a bad O-line like that.
No.
Like that bad of a O-line.
No.
Lamar Jackson never had that bad of an O-line or that bad of a defense.
No. Not at any
Or that bad of an organization.
No, they've actually had good organizations, the other two.
Yeah.
Random question.
For you, Bink, for you, Drew, text line 913-586-7965. Over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. We live stream the show over there as well. Don't forget, coming up in 10 minutes, we'll get you to Fan Club Friday with our friend, McKenzie Nelson, over at KSHB. Brought to you by Jay Rieger and by Circa. Want your shot at $30 million in guaranteed prizes? Enter one of Circa Sports' premier football contests. Visit circasports.com for details. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. Alex and I will actually be out there in late August. Back out at Circa, entering the contest, having a little fun.
Play some bets.
We're thinking Survivor this year, maybe. Oh, yeah. Usually play some bets as well. But we'll do that coming up in about 10 minutes or so. Question I have for you today is about things you keep even though you're not sure. Joe Flacco. I haven't started the series yet, but this clip came across my timeline yesterday. Joe Flacco's in the new season of quarterback over on Netflix. When he won the Super Bowl, and he was the Super Bowl MVP, they gave him a brand new cherry red Corvette for being the winner. You might remember Sal Perez got a truck when he was the World Series MVP, right? He got a brand new Corvette, and it has just been collecting dust, rotting in his garage. And this is him and his wife with the crew talking about it.
Here we have the Corvette that I got for the Super Bowl 47 MVP.
It's your car. I got a car? Do I really? Oh, I get a car.
He was excited.
It's right over there. Go check out the car I get.
As you can see, it's been in this garage. I think it's been in here for probably 5 years. It's kind of like a little trophy. I mean, you keep your trophies stuffed in the attic somewhere, and this is just a bigger version of that. We are not getting in this car right now because we have no idea where the key is. The doors don't just open. There is no handle. It's all like touch operated or something. This car would not start. No chance. We had it in Baltimore because she drove it down, and then it sat in our garage there.
Well, you did take the kids out like a little bit on our street in Baltimore.
Yeah. Okay. I've been in it.
That was, I think, the extent of
not much.
what you've driven.
I do not fit well in this car.
I'm a functional person, so the car doesn't function for us, but it's just such a trophy, just such an amazing feat that you can't get rid of it.
I can't explain how terrible a car looks, though. It's falling apart.
It was dusty. Oh, yeah.
It was dusty.
Dirty,
it was beat
yeah.
up. It was in a very dirty garage, which was surprising for someone of his net worth.
Flacco's becoming extremely likable.
But, like, the idea of keeping that car around to what? You giving it to an 18-year-old down the road?
Well, he's got 5 kids. You'd think one of those kids would want it.
They're not going to let a kid drive that thing.
The hell
So
not.
the question I have for you is, what is the thing that you've been holding on to forever that you refuse to get rid of? Even good or bad reasons, I don't care.
My ex-wife, but we got a divorce.
Because, no, you got rid of her. That's different. I meant the thing.
I held on to her for like 20 years.
I meant
That's
the thing.
significant. That's longer than Joe had this Corvette. I had the ex-wife.
We all have a thing, whether it's from childhood or adulthood or a previous job, that's just been sitting there, and you can't figure out why you don't have it to get rid of, but you haven't gotten rid of it.
Sounds
yet.
like my wife.
I want to know what that thing is.
Sounds
Because
exactly
for him,
like her.
for him, it's his Corvette. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to drive in it.
But
he
he still
doesn't
has
fit
it,
in.
yeah.
He doesn't take care of it.
Like
he
his wife
doesn't
said,
want
it's something you just keep.
Neither of them want that car. So just sell it for his charity or something. Sure, certainly he runs the Joe Flacco Foundation.
Auction it off.
Right? Someone
I would
says,
think
man,
so.
it's just another generic vet. Well, then sell it. It was owned by him for Super Bowl MVP.
What a free Corvette. He was very excited about getting it. He's like, oh, look, it's like almost like Christmas Story. I won a major award.
I need
a
to
major
ask-
award. He was very excited. I'd get a car.
I need someone to ask Salvador Perez if he still has the car. If he still has the truck from when he won the MVP.
Remember, they moved it off real quick.
Yeah, but I want to know if he still has it.
Good question.
Or the one, it was the All-Star Game MVP?
Yeah. They won it for World Series MVP. He won something. It was a Chevy. Maybe it was a Camaro or something. He won a car in New York.
Drew,
during
I
the
have,
World
I have
Series.
two. They haven't hung up in years. They serve no personal function, and I can't decide if I need to hold on to them or get rid of them. I haven't done it. One, when I was in broadcasting in high school, it was called WWER for a stretch. Winnetonka, where excellence reigns, by the way. And then later GTV. But we had a sign on the door that would say that we were on the air. Later, somebody who was at the school brought me the sign when they were renovating the room. So I have the on-air sign for WWER. It's never hung in my house. It is collected dust in my storage area for the better part of probably a decade. It has not served as a functional piece ever. I also have the mailbox from my childhood. It has sat on a shelf. It has never worked as a mailbox. It has never had anything in it. Since it was won in a family, like somebody brought it for like a white elephant exchange at a family thing. I've had it this entire time, probably a decade or so. I've never once used it. Those are two things I don't know why I hold on to, but I've yet to get rid of.
What would you rather have, the Corvette or the communications trailer?
Oh, man. It'd be pretty silly to drive around that Corvette.
I think,
yeah, but you can have the Corvette.
I want the communications trailer.
Really?
I'm married to
Man,
that.
I think that's crazy. I think that's wild.
Someone says they can't get rid of their Butler County Community College 1998 National JUCO Championship hand towel. They said it's purple. That's so specific.
Yeah, that is.
But what are you
very
going to do with
particular.
it? You know what? I mean, it's not going to like hold on forever. So you're just like stuck with that thing. Someone says I kept my old snowboard on a wall from like 2005. Basically, it's useless. 20-year-old snowboard. Nobody wants it. Can't get rid of it. Still haven't.
It's not a Corvette.
Someone says they've had their Jeep Wrangler for 30 years. Hasn't run in 5.
Wow.
Takes up one of the 2 garage spots. Can't get rid of it for some reason.
That's a Flacco move.
But he had it for 30 years. It's hard to let go. 30 years. Flacco hasn't even driven the damn thing. He's had it for a decade. He hasn't even touched it.
He took the kids around the neighborhood.
Once.
Because there's videos
he said.
with the kids.
Once, he said.
He didn't fit in it. He's too tall.
So I just want to know what things you still hold on to. Or Drew, do you have something? You guys have moved enough, too, that you would think that you've seen the thing that you thought getting rid of, maybe you didn't.
Yeah, I don't. A lot of it is kind of at my parents' place, actually.
So they're having to hold on to it for you.
Yeah, they end up holding it because I don't have a garage, and my parents do have a garage, and there's enough stored. But it's not necessarily like for me, but there are like baseball bags Old baseball bats. I've got a scooter that I used to have that's still in my parents' place that is old and rusty.
These are garage sale items, man.
They actually are. They would be good garage
Total
sale
garage
items.
sale. The mailbox would be a good garage sale
It
item.
says taps on it. It
garage.
says the taps.
People buy it.
Right on it.
I don't know
Guys
why
sold other
It's
stuff.
in excellent shape,
You
by
should
the way.
sell it in the garage sale.
Excellent shape.
I think
it says the taps on it.
People buy it though, Cody.
Yeah, for the garage sale they might.
I'll go one for my parents. So my parents have our basketball hoop that they got. I don't know. My brother and I were probably like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And now I'm 30, and they still have the same basketball hoop. Same one.
impressive.
Wow. Same one that sits in the yard in the exact same spot. They haven't moved it. I asked if they'd ever get rid of it, and they're like, there's no reason to. I was like, but we don't come there that often. She's like, oh, no, we're just going to keep it, though.
Just in case.
The net is all dirty. Part of the backboard is like broken off at like the top corner. Not getting rid of it.
Somebody says they've got Dre Kirkpatrick Bengals cleats. Not sure why you have those.
Hey.
Letterman jacket. Someone says I have all my Royals World Series towels just in a box, never displayed or anything. Those are really guilty. Press credentials we're all really guilty of. I have Super
didn't
Bowl
wanna use
press
that one, but
credentials. I have
yes.
other ones. Like that's a real common one in our industry. We all hold on to them and we all pretend like we're gonna like make something with them, and we aren't. And you're always like, oh, I'm gonna remember that this is my first game that I went to. I'm not gonna remember that. I always tell yourself, I've never dug through them. They just slowly add more. I keep less of them now.
Yeah.
And still in there. Someone says they still have their MTV Real World signed shirt by Vanilla Ice from 2010.
That's
Can
really
I
cool.
have that for the garage sale?
That actually is really
Exactly.
cool. I have a lot of it's more of a collector's thing, so it's not like I need to get rid of it or I want to get rid of it, but I've got a lot of like die-cast like race cars.
And it's like, yeah, what are you going to do with them? Do you play with them? Just do going, vroom, vroom.
I
As he
used
sits in
to.
his room.
I used to when I was a kid, but haven't got rid of them. I don't know why I still have them. I say that I like them, but they're not on display anywhere. They're just in a box.
Someone says their 1989 Maple Woods Community College baseball spring tee t-shirt, but they said they still wear it. So there's nothing wrong with keeping it if you're still using it. I'm talking about the things that
27-year-old
you don't
How many
even
holes does the shirt have in it?
you don't even use though. Like this car, he doesn't touch.
No.
It's not a
his
consideration.
trophy.
He's not going to go fire it up and start it down there. It's not going to work there.
Does he not
Reese
have a
Phillips
major
says,
award?
I worked at Olathe Daily News when JCC won the title. He said he's got some stuff from that. I'll tell you another thing I have. I have a physical newspaper of the only time that I was a credited photog for the Kansas City Star.
Yeah.
It's a photo of Billy Hamilton. What the hell am I going to do with that?
Shout out Billy Hamilton.
I'm accredited photog. It says picture by Cody Tapp. The Kansas City Star photographer went up there. I had taken some of the DSLR and I let Vahe Gregorian use it for the paper. They printed it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get that paper because I'm accredited photog. I'm not going to hang that thing up. It's a decent photo of Billy Hamilton, but I shot it on a DSLR from like 50 feet. It's not even like, it wasn't even like a good photo. What the hell am I holding on to that for? What am I going to do with that paper? I also have a paper for when Ryan and I were in the pitch. So it's crazy.
You can sell that stuff, man.
When we come back, let's get you to Fan Club Friday. McKenzie Nelson's going to join us. Brought to you by Jay Rieger and Circa.
What's up, KC? It's Matt Strahm from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Summer savings start now at Hy-Vee's 3-day summer sale. Save big this Friday through Sunday on summer favorites with hot deals throughout the store. Stock up and save big on fresh meat, produce, and other healthy finds. Want an easier way to shop? Order on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery and we'll do the shopping for you. Save time, save money. Shop your way during the Hy-Vee 3-day summer sale this weekend only.
The Hy-Vee Market Grill is the best dining value in town. We love it for breakfast on the weekends, and now Thursday is steak day. You're going to get that perfectly grilled and seasoned steak with a baked potato and a side of sweet corn for just $12. You can't beat that deal anywhere in town. That's why the Hy-Vee Market Grill is a must on Thursdays for steak day. Dine in, carry out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're going to love the Hy-Vee Market Grill as much as I do. Don't forget, Thursday, $12 steaks, only at the Hy-Vee Market Grill.
The Sherwin-Williams Summer Sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off our newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Point.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace.
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
The world's best soccer teams know success starts with a strong game plan. AAA believes your insurance should work the same way. Visit AAA.com and you could save up to 21% by switching to AAA Auto Insurance. You can save even more if you bundle 2 or more policies, like auto and home, to unlock additional multi-policy savings while keeping all your coverage on one team. Head to AAA.com to simplify your insurance, save money, and protect what matters most. One game plan, one team. AAA Insurance.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into the Fan Club.
Step 1, we buy into this club. Step 2, we roll over to the club, either in your Mercedes-Benz or my pre-owned Acura Legend.
It's not as much as a club as it is a couple middle-aged dudes in sweatshirts talk about sports.
Bounce, 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 bounce. Now all the ladies saying bounce, 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 bounce.
But you get the gist. Here's Cody Tapp and Alex Gold.
Fan Club Friday brought to you by Jay Rieger & Company and by Circa. If you want your shot at $30 million in guaranteed prizes, enter one of Circa Sports' premier football contest. Visit circasports.com for details. You got to enter in Nevada, but you can play from anywhere. Alex and I were actually in the contest last year. We're joined by McKenzie Nelson.
Hi.
For a Fan Club Friday. Been a little while, I feel like, since I was in for one. So, yeah, we head out to Vegas. This will be now year 3 or 4 in a row for contest weekend at Circa.
Fun.
Do you get to go to Vegas a lot on the Raiders games?
No.
Feels like such an easy one.
Right.
Does Mick take that one? Is it him to blame?
Listen. We only travel when it's on our air. Okay.
So that's like never, though.
Because who's putting Raiders Chiefs on Sunday Night Football?
Yeah, that's not.
Probably not happening.
Well, maybe with Fernando Mendoza.
Maybe.
Like maybe Fernando Mendoza's good this year. Next year, you'd have a chance.
Maybe.
When are the Chiefs Raiders games right now? One, we don't know. It's the last week of the season.
Right. I can't
so
remember.
So it could be Sunday Night Football, but only if the Raiders matter.
Yeah,
so
which they don't.
That's pretty unlikely.
They don't matter.
I'm just trying to think about.
Then and the other one's what's the Super Bowl in Vegas again?
The Sunday Night Football games, we've got Seattle, we have the Rams, and we have Bills.
Okay, so
on
which one are you going to go to?
I believe. We don't know yet. I would love to go to Buffalo again because I went for the AFC divisional round game maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But now Buffalo has their new stadium.
Fancy new
So I'm
stadium.
like, I would love to see that. That would be really cool. Or I'd love to go to SoFi and cover the Rams because I've never seen SoFi and it's beautiful.
And December to get to LA doesn't seem like
doesn't sound like a
the
bad
worst escape.
Yeah. Seattle would be my last one. No offense to Seattle, but I'm like,
2029 Super
right?
Bowl, Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. So the Chiefs make the Super Bowl. It'll be in Vegas at Allegiant again. It'll be in Vegas again.
You know what? Chiefs still have more playoff wins in that building
It's
than
the
the
February
Raiders have.
2029 book it.
Which I was at that Super Bowl.
I was
Allegiant
too.
Stadium is cool. Like, it was really, really nice stadium, but
It's what I hope for. Like, in a lot of ways, the one thing I hope out of Arrowhead is that the new stadiums have done much better about it. But when they're closed, which I'd prefer to be open, but whatever, it's going to be closed.
Yeah.
When they're closed, the newer stadiums do a better job of making it not feel like you're stuck in a warehouse.
yes.
Like the way they put the glass in Allegiant, you don't feel so trapped indoors. Minnesota's maybe the best at that, but there's a few that at least don't make it totally feel that way.
Yeah.
So at least there's something to there. I do see you're in your KC Current gear.
I am,
They
right?
play a match tonight, right?
They do. Don't ask me anything else about it because I'm not for sure.
Wait, are you going to do the media game this year?
I am.
Oh, man. Are
You
we on
in
a
it?
team?
I'm
I
not
am.
the captain this year, though.
You know what? Less pressure. Less
Yeah.
pressure than being the captain.
Last year I was the captain and I selected the team, and then during the game there were like 100 people out there on the field, and so I was like, yeah, I'm never touching this ball. So I just stood out there and I took video of my team and took pictures.
Bad news, McKenzie.
What?
We're on opposite teams.
We are?
We're against each other.
Oh.
You are on Team Teal, or Team Heartland, which is the
Heartland.
Teal kits.
Mm-hmm.
I am on Team Storm in the Storm kits, the new Storm kits. I've been very lucky. I have a red one, I have a
Okay.
teal one, and now I get the Storm kit.
That's sick.
Great.
I want the Storm kit.
What's not to like?
Should we switch teams?
Should we? Oh, but I
Should we
want the
become
Storm
free
kit.
agents?
Make a trade.
Why don't you just? We'll trade. We'll. Let's see. Who do we know?
Well, my coworker Fernanda Silva is the captain, and she picked me first, so that would be kind
of
awful
rude
of
of
me
you.
to be like, bye.
and she picked you first. You're like,
Yes.
well, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I don't even know if
I
Hannah.
like a teal kit though.
Yeah, teal kit's good.
Pretty cool.
You
I
got
don't
the
have
red one
teal
on
yet.
today.
Yeah.
If you want, you can see us over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. We obviously live stream the show, so you can take a look. The three of us are obviously over there as well. We can
See my
talk.
Casey Current jersey.
Yeah, you can see
All
her.
right.
Well, and I have a lot of those jerseys from little stuff over the years. But I'm not gonna rock a jersey with my name on it a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
hoping eventually my kids will like them.
Yes.
So I don't get rid of them now, or at least all of them now.
Yeah.
Because I've got 3 Charlie Hustle UMKC jerseys with my name on them. How am I gonna put
They're
that
going to
on?
be so retro when your kids are older.
Yeah, very much. Well,
Hang on
maybe
to 'em.
UMKC will actually matter this year, McKenzie.
Yes. Aren't you excited?
Yes.
A little bit at least, I guess.
I teach at UMKC. I covered the basketball team the entire time I was there. I called every men's and women's basketball game for 2 full years. I was pretty dedicated to the program for a number of years, and they've stunk.
Yeah.
There's been no payback at any point for rooting for UMKC. It's just been
Exciting.
one.
New coaches.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of a new era. Maybe it'll get better from here. Also, I didn't realize you were a teacher. I don't think I knew that about you.
So I
Learn something
teach.
new every day.
I teach 2 classes at UMKC as an adjunct professor.
Wow.
We've had Ms. Dugan in a couple times. She claims I'm not a real teacher because
the kids
I'm not in the
listen to you?
throes.
Kids,
Oh,
I guess
on
the college.
the show? I usually have one student a semester who's a big fan of the show.
Okay.
And then the other ones who I imagine listen to it just out of who's the person who's teaching this class?
He's brought him in for a visit.
I teach. Yeah, I usually bring them in, or I bring them by the TV studio. So
That's right.
Yeah, I brought in one of your
gave you the
classes. Yeah.
tour.
I was gonna say, wait, I teach. I brought one of my classes.
Oh my God.
in.
Yes. Okay.
So I teach radio and TV performance.
So cool.
And then I teach a podcasting course where they have to learn the
awesome.
technical skill of editing and then how to produce and make a podcast.
Well, that was really dumb of me. I did give your entire
did.
class a tour, so
Lives are
I knew you were a
Professor Tapp,
teacher.
non-robotic Professor Tapp.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. We were doing our trash of the day earlier is that there's some upstate New York school district that's going to allow an AI bot to be a teacher's assistant in their classroom.
Huh.
It's the same manufacturing of a sex doll like company. It's just like a subsidiary. They're like, we're just making a different doll.
Oh,
You're like,
happy Friday.
They switch gears for a little bit, yeah.
You're like, if I had learned my kid, it's like it's like the worst
That's
conceivable.
weird. That's creepy.
It's super creepy.
It's like, okay, well, why don't you just like sit on your computer and learn from the internet everything you ever want to know? That's like you would never do that.
Well, and it's so impersonal because it said like can be identified like, hi, I'm student 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was on this list. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to teach them to be robots.
Yes.
It's not even talking to a real person.
No.
It's horrifying, McKenzie.
That I would never.
Genuinely.
I would never want to do that. And then how do you like get the people skills?
You don't.
Yeah. Everybody's going to be robotic.
How do they handle the emotional needs of a child?
Yeah. I guess you don't. Everyone's just supposed to have no emotion now.
Yep.
Robots.
It's all bleak. It's all dystopian, Bank. Your kids haven't been in school in a long time. You don't have to worry about it. I don't need some robot.
And no robots
teacher
back then.
Working with my
Who would
kids.
have thought this is something we'd even be talking about, though? Like, hey, are your kids going to be in high school in a few years having robots teach them?
So that was a big topic on the show. And then for the last 3 days, we've been consumed following on eBay. So somebody pointed it out to me. I saw it on Facebook Marketplace because I'll look for like I got a new bed frame or whatever on there. And I saw for $40,000 the Argentina Football Association Communication Studio. It's the size of a one-car garage. It has power and chairs and a table and all this stuff.
AC.
And it's on Facebook Marketplace.
But what are you going to do with it?
Listed for $40,000. I'm turning it into a bar in the back of my house called Messy Taps because in honor of Argentina and my last name.
Yes, love.
But I wanted 400 listeners to help me out by giving me $96.50 so I could get the $40,000 needed. That's what it's listed for. Now, I think I could probably get it for less, but legal told me I can't do that. They said you actually can't ask listeners for $96.
We can't create a
and
GoFundMe?
50 cents. Yeah, they're
Dang
like,
it.
you can't do that. So I feel like my dream of owning it is slowly dying. But I'm following it on eBay. It's got 6 minutes left. There's still 0 bids. On Facebook Marketplace, there's people watching it, but there's nobody's made an offer.
You could make a bid for like, what's the lowest that you could put in for?
This is the problem. eBay, they set it for a minimum bid of $40,000. So they're not actually entertaining small bids. I think in a month they're going to be begging me to take this away from their building.
Yes.
It's only sided on 2 sides because it's up against the building. So there's no siding on half of it. Who is buying this besides me is what I want to know. Besides me being an idiot in my own backyard, who's the market?
Well, and you got to think
for
too,
the
like
Argentina
all the
Association
other,
Communication Studio.
All the other like professional teams that we have can't repurpose that or use it for anything. They probably ask like, does anybody need something like this? And then they're like, oh.
Well, it's that hotel. I was like, I'm surprised they just don't turn it into a room.
Yeah.
And just where Messi might have been in there or not. I'm sure he was. They have 4 chairs set up like for press conferences and stuff. Maybe he did. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could stay in there. Especially if Argentina wins Sunday, it's like back-to-back World Cups. It's like you're staying in the Argentina win, and you never want to hold on.
But
people want to hold on to World Cup stuff in this town.
But this isn't like a 3D printed FIFA World Cup or a towel that Messi tossed to a kid.
They're keeping that hard.
This is an entire car-sized communication studio. It is not for the average regular person to just go about and purchase.
What about Argentina
it's attached
fans?
To a hotel. You're going to have to get a crane to move it.
Yeah.
But there's restaurants around town that are Argentinian. Paropo's is an Argentinian place. You'd think
you're going to make it a private dining
Messi
area?
fans. There's got to be a Messi fan with $40,000 just wanting to buy that.
But it's like, where do you put it?
I'm going to put it in my backyard.
Land.
I'm going to put it in my backyard. It'll just be like I have a deck that used to have a shed that got destroyed by a tree. It'll go right there. It'll fit perfect.
Put your mower
That's
in
where
it.
That's where Messi.
Do you need me to start this GoFundMe and then I'll just secretly give
And
Oh,
you
we'll be
this money
It's
so you
so
can buy
weird.
it?
Mackenzie Nelson started a GoFundMe and it says for it's a communication trailer. She says it's for a gift for me.
Yes.
Don't worry, Odyssey Legal. It has nothing to do.
He's doing a parlay. He's doing a parlay to try
I
to
did
make
do a
the money.
$10 parlay to try to win $15,000,
which they might accept.
but I don't think that's going to come together. I think they'd take $5,000 if I had it.
I bet
just
they'd take
cash.
nothing at this point. Just to
What are
get
you
rid
gonna
of
do
it
with
because
it?
it's probably
I
fast
don't
to
know.
get rid
And
of
then
it.
how long do they have before Sporting's like, okay, get rid of that thing. We don't want it.
It's attached to the hotel.
Oh, it's to
It's
the
at a hotel.
Yeah.
It's
How-
at
the
a, that's
hotel's
why I'm
not gonna
saying
want
someone
it.
could stay in it.
Oh.
The hotel's not going to want it on the side of their building forever.
No, so they're going to probably give them a specific date that it's got to be
gotta
gone
be
by.
gone.
So they're probably trying to make some money, and then
Or
if not,
tear
they're
it
going
up.
to toss it.
I
Right?
gotta say, based on the fact that it's listed from just like an individual, I genuinely think they just said, "Hey, look, if you can get something for it, power to you. We don't
Yeah.
care. We don't care what you do."
Do we
with
know
it."
who the person is that listed it?
Her name is Katie. I didn't want to give her last name on the air because
Yeah,
she
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
ask for, I guess, this kind of attention. But
Yeah.
She's got it now.
But does she work for the hotel or does she work for the team?
Let me look up. I looked up her job, and I didn't feel like it was like directly related.
Well,
She
maybe
doesn't work-
Argentina will buy it, but I
She
don't
doesn't
know if
work
they're gonna get it
for Argentina.
Okay.
Because a lot of stuff, and you probably know this too, this would be actually, I imagine it'll be like news stories for you guys. as you're talking about like the way they take the heart down and all this other stuff. FIFA buys all this stuff, but they let companies who helped build this stuff take some of this stuff away because they can't hold this all back. They don't reuse all this stuff for the next, World Cup.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff, you store it for 4 years and then you go get it out of storage.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff just has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it's all the way in Lawrence, or it says it's in Lawrence, so it's not even on the normal hotel. It's at the Origin. Oh no, that's just like rough area. Origin Kansas City Hotel is where it is.
So that's like down by CPKC, right?
Yeah,
like down over there.
The team hotel over down by there. So it's not even that far from my house.
Can Current Landing use it for something?
Current could buy it.
I should ask the Longs if they'll buy it for me, just as a gesture.
Like, thank you so much for
you guys are so
your
nice.
hard work, Cody.
We've invited just because, I guess, because I don't have 40 grand lying. I work in radio. I certainly can't. And I already had the conversation. If I can get this funded, I've gotten an acceptance from my wife. Somebody said, "Did you talk to your wife about it?" I was like, "Oh, not yet. I probably should." So I did last night.
She's like, "Yeah,"
and she was like, "Yeah." I mean, it was like probably the normal stuff. I was like, "You're kind of an idiot, but fine, I guess."
Not as enthusiastic as my amazing, but okay.
But I mean, that's fair.
She's like, okay.
If you pitch that to someone, but she's been with me a long time.
Yeah.
So like at this point, she's probably used to.
Yeah.
I mean, we once made like a $5,000 or $6,000 Creed is Good video, so she can't be like stunned by some of the things I get myself into sometimes.
She probably sits down and is like, okay, what's he got for me today?
I can't wait to be sitting out there, that air conditioning's cranking, having some brew in your messy tabs.
I guess I don't know how it connects. Do I need to connect it to a power grid, or can this just be like an extension cord off my house?
God, I don't know.
Maybe that. I don't know.
Well, and are you a big soccer guy?
She works for the hotel.
He's not, but he picked the team.
The person who is actively trying to sell it for them does work for the hotel. So,
okay, yeah, they probably told her get rid of this within a certain amount of time.
But that means they have in my opinion though, that means they are at zero cost on this thing. I guarantee either Argentina or FIFA paid for this, not them. So this communications trailer was just paid for by they're in it $0.
Yeah.
So if I'll just take it away, aren't I doing you a favor? You guys probably didn't pay a single cent for it. Why not just let me have it? I'll figure out. Somebody on the text line who runs a crane company says they'll
move it for you?
They'll move it for me.
Oh my God.
Listeners are great.
I love your listeners.
So somebody,
it's a very large
person
trailer.
who says they do freight hauling says that they'll work through the system just as long as it costs or whatever. I don't ask them to spend their own money.
Yeah.
But it costs. They say they'll move the trailer for me. They'll pop it in my backyard. And we'll just
Getting in the backyard is going to be a challenge.
It's like, don't hit any houses around you.
It's going to be a bit of a challenge.
I'm on the corner, so there's only one house next to me.
Okay.
You wouldn't have to go through. Actually, there's an open area somewhat.
Okay.
That you could maybe go to the back.
I mean, it feels like this belongs to you, honestly.
I agree.
I got to stop encouraging you.
Someone says extension cord would probably work, but you might want more power if you put a fridge on. Honestly, if I got a full power thing, I'll figure out a way to get it connected to the.
We're gonna need
the
someone to
real
come
power.
hook it
AC
up.
unit, fridge
come
unit,
hook it up.
And I said anybody who helped, if somebody, the freight guy, that guy drinks at messy taps for good.
Yeah.
He's, you're,
Messy taps.
you're good.
I love this.
Founders Club.
Originally, when we
So
were going to do this,
creative.
I was going to have a founders club. You
Okay.
can have all your
Okay.
plaques on the wall
Yeah.
and all that, but again, they won't let me take the money. They won't let me take the money yet. But I haven't given up the dream yet, McKenzie, that would be the case.
I will keep my fingers crossed for you because that'd be cool.
Yeah. What did you make, by the way? In your lifetime Kansas City and like I am, it was really hard not to look at what Kansas City did at the World Cup and not be, this was really good for the city as far as profile, name, how many people came. Overall, Kansas City did an excellent job with it, and this is good for the city's growth in the future.
Totally. Yeah, 100%. I think it was a positive in every single way you look at it. But also, some of the matches that we had here in Kansas City were some of the best that we've seen, throughout the World Cup. And the fact that Kansas City will be tied to those matches, like Messi having a hat trick the first match.
Yeah, you got Messi for a third of the game.
Insane. Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you are going to look back years from now and be like, oh, remember when he had that hat trick in Kansas City? People all over the world are going to be talking about that, and it's going to be tied here. And then you have some of the best teams, two of them, England and Argentina, making it all the way to the semifinals, and they're training here in Kansas City. I just think it was such a cool thing for Kansas City to be on the map that.
It was. And the funny thing is, last Wednesday I was sitting there, they were showing Switzerland flying in. Because they were going to play on Saturday. And Argentina was already here staying.
Yeah.
England was here staying. Now they're leaving the next day for their games. But there for an evening, 3 of the 8 final World Cup teams were in Kansas City at that point.
And they all talked about how much they loved it.
Yes.
Messi saying thank you. And even when the Netherlands left, they were so thankful in the Algeria story. Like Kansas City really was, funny enough, as small as the cities was, it was absolutely, after it was all said and done, the single most noticed World Cup city. Those things don't get noticed the same in New York, LA, Miami. Those cities always
It's
get
the only
noticed.
town to have 4 base camps.
I know.
And England loved it so much, they came back here to stay before their third place game. They're actually back in Kansas City. They're probably gone now, but they're roaming around the streets of Prairie Village eating ice cream the
I
other
think
day.
they left today, or they're leaving
Did
today,
they?
maybe around like 2:30. They're flying out.
Okay.
But I do think it's really cool. So the Argentinian media, I've obviously been with them for feels like 2 months now. But I'd asked them, I'm like, what do you guys think about Kansas City? Because they had just got back from the match in Miami. And they were like, oh, we're so grateful to be back in Kansas City. And I'm like, really? I would have thought, Miami would be fun, the weather, the beach. And they're like, no, like we were really grateful to get back to Kansas City. Like we love it here. And to hear that from people who have traveled like with the team to all these different cities, and for them to be like, oh no, we were so grateful to be back. I'm like, that says a lot.
They
like,
can be themselves here.
I think that's why I'm a little bit bummed out that they're already kind of hinting at the 2031 World Cup, which is going to be in the United States and several other countries, Jamaica and some others. It's shared kind of like this one for the Women's World Cup. Has already pretty much been like, hey, we got to choose some different cities. And you're like, can you choose some different cities, but not this one?
Yeah.
Because if they're going to choose a different city, it's still going to be in New York. They're not going to kick that one off.
Right.
LA.
So it's like, but don't kick us off. We ruled at it.
I do wish that when England and Argentina played each other, I mean, they were both staying here. They were both practicing here, and then they went to Atlanta for the match. Like, can you imagine if we just would have had that at Kansas City Stadium, we're supposed to call it? Like, how cool would that have been? I don't know. I think it was a really big spotlight on Kansas City, and I think we really shined when,
And we've had our opportunities, and I think a lot of it started, honestly, with the 2012 All-Star game. Because people are waiting to see it fail. I mean, that was kind of Kansas City's going to screw this up stuff. That was really the first big event here. Was 12 that All-Star game because that was kind of the attention on you. Then all of a sudden, you make the World Series in 14 and 15, and that's in Kansas City. Oh, that's cool and everything. But then you get the NFL draft, and it's like a huge thing for Kathy Nelson. All the time she tried and going to Philadelphia and Chicago, all these other drafts trying to get it to Kansas City. Well, she did, and she got it to Kansas City. Well, that helped spur on. And then, of course, the airport coming. But that draft helped us get the World Cup, in my opinion, because they proved they could do a large amount of people and be successful. I think the NFL draft helped Kansas City get this World Cup. And now you add the World Cup to it. When you're having these presentations, I would call it a drop mic moment.
Yeah.
Like Kathy Nelson can literally come in and say, World Cup.
We've done this,
and then
this.
And then drop mic, done talking.
Yep.
Like that's it. Beforehand, she had to sell the city. On the airport that wasn't new at that point, she had to sell. But when you can say NFL draft and World Cup, that's
kind of
all you
like
need
there's
to
nothing
say.
to top that. Like
That's all
the
you
World
need to
Cup is
say.
the biggest thing in the sporting event in the world.
It's bigger than the Super Bowl. It's
yes, times 10. And like it's weird
From
to
the world
say
end
that.
it is,
Yes, from a world perspective, the FIFA World Cup is the biggest thing that is in the entire world when it comes to sporting events. For us, we would say, Super Bowl, stuff like that. But the fact that Kansas City was involved in the World Cup on this level, like of a stage, having a quarterfinal here and everything. Like you said, Kathy Nelson could be like, oh yeah, we hosted this. We hosted Argentina.
Kathy Nelson's job got a lot easier after the summer.
But man, did she put in a lot of work. I don't know if that lady sleeps.
Well, just think about all the hurdles she had to go through, and then she kept adding things, and one thing led to another. And literally, the World Cup, I do believe it came in large part to the NFL draft, choosing that you can host something with several 100,000 people and it goes smoothly, and then all the parades we had for the Royals and the Chiefs, and,
it's
a
been a
million
big 10
people.
years, the airport, and then even just like it's
getting
small,
a streetcar, get it all of it.
UMKC just got a $160 million research grant, which is
it just feels like there's these major things happening all the time.
There was articles talking about like that's essentially like Silicon Valley and Austin got started, big grants, and then something happens, and then it becomes a hub for these things unexpectedly, and so. Like Austin World Cup, it became that because they got this big grant and then people ended up down there. And so like for Kansas City, and I know like we weren't planning on doing the whole thing on the World Cup, but I don't know. It just like, I was like, it's just a good thing for everybody.
Absolutely.
It just like, rising tide raises all boats. And so like it felt overall, I was just like really, really pleased.
What I was proud is they were showing Kansas City for the watch parties for Team USA. Team USA ratings are out the roof.
But that's why we got it in the first place.
But it was just proud of Kansas City, the way they handled it, the way it went, the way we looked on a national stage when they would show Kansas City going crazy or the big walk with the orange and things like that. But it it really put Kansas City in a good light. You can't pay for this kind of advertising. You can't make your city look this good when Denver is so upset that they didn't have the World Cup. And St. Louis is so mad they didn't get it. Well, Kansas City got it, and they did well. Extremely well.
It is official, by the way. There was no bids on the communication.
Cheers, buddy. Cody
You got to go make some calls.
So the eBay, again, if you just wanted away from
Call Katie.
If you just wanted away from your hotel, I'm your guy. I had an electrician say, I'm an electrician. I'll come hook it up. We'll get it all squared away.
He's talked to Katie via message.
Yeah.
He's never talked to her on the phone,
But she doesn't realize I'm a real buyer or just wanter of the item.
Well, I don't know if you are a real buyer.
This is the problem.
You're a wanter, but I don't know if you're a buyer.
Yeah, that's probably
Maybe
true.
a buyer for like $20.
I was trying to be a buyer, but
40 grand?
honestly, lawyers say I can't be. Not with people's help.
Just tell her you really want it and you have no money.
Because it's one thing to tell my wife I'm going to put a communication studio in our backyard. It's another thing to say I'm going to spend 40 grand on it. That's where the conversation stops. Because we have like kids or
ask her what the lowest she
college.
would take for it is.
Yeah, you should.
So then I know, but I still can't crowdsource it. What's the only lowest number she'll take for is the lowest number I'm willing to pay, which is a lot less than 40.
Exactly.
A lot less than 40.
That would be cool. Maybe you got to share the dream. Like, give her the vision of what it is you're trying to turn it into, and maybe she'll.
Could it be sponsored by the hotel for a while?
Absolutely.
Messy
Can we
chat?
get on a payment plan of some sort?
Yeah. Can I? It's like a mortgage. Can I just pay you over the next 30 years?
Well, just get it because that thing probably will end up in the river.
I'm going to make sure she knows I want it if they're just going to throw it away. Let's not get carried away.
They might throw it away.
Before you just offer it up to anybody. Hold on now. Hold on now. I'm still here. When we come back, we're only a week away from training camp starting.
My gosh.
So we can talk a little Chiefs, plus the Royals start back up today as well, and just general life stuff. We'll talk more here on a Fan Club Friday.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The best football contests are back out in Las Vegas with Circa Sports. $30 million in guaranteed prizes, no rake in any of the three contests. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Community Blood Center has declared a blood emergency as our community faces a critically low blood supply. The Chiefs, KC Current, Sporting KC, and the Royals are partnering to urge KC fans to donate blood. And thanks, donate now through July 19th to receive a We Bleed KC Stadium bag. While supplies last, let's get out and save some lives. Walk-in donations are available at any of our centers, or schedule an appointment online at savealifenow.org.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi, it's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal too, right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid
Nice. Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends August 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty.
Wait,
what?
Also, objection. You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog, but they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive, and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back here on a Fan Club Friday, of course, brought to you by Jay Rieger and Company, and from our friends over at Circa. You can have your shot at $30 million in guaranteed prizes. Enter one of Circa Sports' premier football contests. Of course, that's Pick'em or Survivor over at circasports.com. For details, you have to enter in Nevada, but you can play from anywhere. You can just sign up for a proxy. We did it last year, McKenzie. You just these proxy guys just sit down in the sports book, ready to take all your information, give you all the login information once they get you all signed up for the contest, and then you just use their little site to make your selections.
We had a team and we did this. We bought into it and did this.
We were in the top 100th place through the first 5 or 6 weeks.
But we're so bad right in the beginning. The first couple weeks, we actually thought about, should we do bets to lose?
It's not you tend to be beach.
I'm a beach goer.
Mexico.
I'm going to Miami next week with my mom. We're going to have a little girls trip.
Okay.
It's going to be fun.
Little South Beach.
Little South Beach
Before
action before training camp. It's the 1 week that we have free after World Cup. There's blackout dates. You can't go anywhere during the World Cup.
Yours was particularly bad because of the World Cup stuff.
Yes. And, only 2 people from each outlet were credentialed. And I was one of those 2. So, I had to go to every training, every presser. Nobody else could. Now I'm a couple days off. Let's do it. Let's book a trip. So, going to go to the beach.
Nice.
You know me.
Stay
But I
down
do
in Miami?
love Vegas. It's just, I'm not a gambler.
But there's stuff to do in Vegas that isn't gambling.
Yeah, shopping and spending money, but I'm also not a big drinker. So I'm I
Looking at
don't gamble, I
fountains.
don't drink. I can walk around and spend a bunch of money on shops.
On nice, things.
What am I doing?
You can watch fountains. Bellagio's got a nice little fountain display.
Well, we go up to
I've seen that.
we go.
You
up
can
to
watch the
Circa.
fountain. Seriously, you go to Vegas.
Yes,
if you don't
you can.
gamble, you
But
can watch
McKenzie
fountains.
likes sports. You don't have to necessarily bet on it because one of the things we do at Circa is Stadium Swim, which is that gigantic
Yeah,
sports book.
that's
You can
cool.
swim.
It's pretty
I would
sick
like to do
sit at.
that, yeah.
All the
You
sports
swim.
on the screen and you're just sitting out in the sun in a pool.
I would love that. Maybe if someone wanted to fund my trip to Vegas where I could gamble with someone else's money,
Maybe we'll ask
And then-
next year if you can come along with us to.
Maybe we could do a
To
GoFundMe
Circa.
for my
Yeah.
Vegas trip, and then we'll start another one for your trailer.
Yeah. Once they caught wind of me asking listeners for $96.50, but that's only 400 people. I'll tell you right now, if they said, give me the go-ahead, and they said I could announce a GoFundMe, and I needed 400 people for $96, I guarantee you we'd get it.
Probably.
I guarantee you we'd get the money for this trailer. And I said, lady, I'm just going to need a couple of days.
Yeah.
Give me like a week.
Yeah.
And
Let's get this campaign rolling.
So if you can just, but I can't.
I
They
know.
told me no.
Honestly, I think you're going to get it for free because they probably just want the hell out of there.
I'm going to offer it. I'm going to say, hey,
Wishful
look, if you
thinking.
ever get to a point where someone's not offering you cash for this,
Yes, if no one's offering it, it's just sitting there.
You got to get rid of it. I'm your guy.
You don't want that turned into a Joe Flacco car in the garage getting dust.
No. Yeah, let me own it instead. Let's talk a little Chiefs football since we're 1 week away from we got to stand up there.
Gosh,
and, well, it's reporting day, and that's one of the worst days because it's mostly just fluff questions and we're not really getting
Andy Reid will
anywhere.
be talking about the wedding. That'll be the
He'll
question.
talk outside of the.
He'll talk outside Scandal in the hall.
He'll get all these questions that have nothing to do with
time
football.
for the Chiefs, just like he
and
wants
somebody
it.
will ask Trey Smith, what's the comfort food you brought to have with you in
How
the
many
dorm?
TVs? What video games did you bring? Like, if someone would like to write me an email or like message me on social media with some actual like questions that are fresh that we don't do every year,
I'd love it.
hit me up. I need new questions. Like, what do you guys want to know about training camp? Because like we do ask them, we're like, okay, what'd you pack? What's it like bringing all your stuff to the dorm room again? Like, okay, you
Who
guys
are
were
you
just
rooming
at
with?
Taylor Swift's wedding, and now you're back in St. Joe. Like,
Is
what
the
the heck?
food good here?
Yeah. Like, how many questions do we ask?
Are
Millions
you
of
worried
times.
about the lettuce and the what's that?
I will say
there's something getting on lettuce or something.
Yeah.
It's causing everybody
It's
to
lettuce.
have problems.
Yes, it turns out it's lettuce.
But that has become an issue.
We talked about it on the show on Monday or
But
Tuesday.
it's becoming more of an issue since then.
I cannot handle that. This is kind of changing the subject, but since you brought it up, all the lower thirds, like on TV, can we take the word explosive out? How many times does explosive have to be in there? We know what it is.
McKenzie, it's actually a legitimate question. Like, are you guys going to stay away from the lettuce at training camp? Like, if you can't have lettuce, what are you going to do?
They're just not going to sell it.
Like,
for
I'm
a
curious.
while.
What about produce? Because the team is. They're eating a ton of produce and lettuce and stuff. What are they going to do? Like, that is a legitimate question.
I have no idea.
I've never wanted to garden more, like make my own tomatoes or something.
I
So
have tomatoes. I should have brought you some.
I want tomatoes.
It's the only thing that's doing well.
What else?
I just have like container gardens. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
I have
You have
jalapenos
jalapenos?
and tomatoes, and that's it. Sorry. Oh, a lemon tree.
So I can almost make if you were doing I could have had like a salsa.
Yes,
Tomatoes and
but I
jalapeno. I'm
don't
pretty close
have
to fresh
enough
salsa.
stuff to make salsa yet. I have like one jalapeno. I'm not doing well. But I also just learned that you're not supposed to water it a ton, but you water tomatoes a ton. So I was, probably
It's been
killing
raining
it.
a ton,
One
though,
of
too.
No, I'm like, it's just drowning on me. But the tomatoes are doing well.
One of
I
my
should buy you
single
some.
favorite thing I've ever made in my entire life was I got green tomatoes from the farmer's market.
Hey.
And I made fresh ciabatta bread and I made a fried green tomato sandwich.
Oh, yum.
Fried green tomato sandwiches. Actually, the first
That
time I ever
sounds
had
good.
fried it was Charleston, South Carolina, because they do a lot.
Oh, nice.
They fry everything down there in the South, like Twinkies and everything. But fried green tomatoes in Charleston, it was
Twinkies
wonderful.
are fried.
What's that?
I said Twinkies are already
No,
fried.
but you put the Twinkie in the fryer and you get a fried
We're
Twinkie.
like going like this with our conversation.
Eh,
We're
it's
going back
fine.
over here
They
now.
say that Twinkies can withstand a nuclear blast.
I know they
Oh my gosh.
They can last through anything.
We can go back to the Chiefs for at least a little bit. Is there it's a more interesting camp, McKenzie, than like normal because they were bad and Kenneth Walker's. So like,
There's
but
some
at
new
the same
storylines.
time,
Yeah.
it's like it's still EB and Mahomes and Reed and a huge chunk of the offense. There are storylines, but I feel like the defense to me, funny enough, is the more changed unit.
Yes.
But it's less interesting from like training camp conversation. It's the more
Agreed,
interesting thing
yes.
to follow because that unit changed far more dramatically.
Yes.
But Ken Walker's here, and so like we're gonna pay attention to that. And if they complete a deep pass in a preseason game, we'll wonder whether or not they're capable of doing it in a regular season game. So some of the storylines feel kind of similar, I guess.
I think so too. I think the storylines are I mean, like I said, we kind of do the same stuff every
Yeah, there's
year,
some similar
but
stuff.
with different people. So like Kenneth Walker's going to be a big thing. We want to see what he looks like. We want to see how he's fitting in, just like what he looks like when he's walking out there in red, that type of thing. But then also, what's the offense look like? Are we noticing any differences? Because I don't know about you, but during OTAs and stuff like that, the offense did look different. And you could just tell the vibes that like OTAs were different too. It was more intense and less like, oh, we're kind of walking through the motions,
Well, they're
stuff
mad.
like that. Yeah.
This is a team that was used to winning, and then they were bad.
And then they were
You
bad.
got good soundbite guys because EB is back.
Yes.
And obviously, EB is very
Always,
vocal.
yes.
And then Chet O'Shea.
Yes,
It
oh,
reminds
he's
me
been fun.
like when the enemy got here back in 2013 because you can clearly hear O'Shea barking at the players.
Yes.
So that makes good stuff for TV.
Now
with
it's like,
O'Shea
oh,
and
if you're
Bieniemy.
shooting video of their
Yeah.
training, you got to like mute it because the coaches are yelling in the background. It's like a new rule.
But at least the coaches
That's a
like to
stupid
bark.
rule, by the way. It's
But
fine
it
if
is
Chad
intense.
O'Shea yells at people.
Totally. Well, and I think most people are going to be like, okay, good. Like, they need to get yelled at.
They probably
need
want
to
like kind of a whip
light
ass for
fire.
this year.
Yes.
It's just like
Absolutely.
it's so that's a dumb rule.
Isn't that
But
funny?
like it is like, and I got that email too.
Uh-huh.
So, but it's when I go back through their year, I find it far more likely they will just return to like that they will just immediately be one of the top teams in the AFC than struggle. Like I've watched them struggle once. I watched them go to the AFC title game all of the 7 years and the Super Bowl 5 of those 7 years. It's hard for me to imagine that the losing continues. Like, even with roster questions, I have a hard time getting there personally.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they have all the pieces. It's just about like executing those pieces. You have all of the pieces to have a winning team.
Yeah.
And so it's like, just can you go out and can you do it? Is Mahomes going to be back, and when will he be back? And is the offense going to be better? Is he going to have help? Is he, going to get sacked a million times? Or is that going to be figured out? Like,
23 the last 25 years, the team didn't make the playoffs. Right. Won the division.
Yeah.
So the odds
there
are
are plenty of candidites this year in the NFL, but the Chiefs
they
are certainly
but the
one
Chiefs
of
are
them.
certainly a top candidate for not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Can they be that team that turns around and wins the division the next year?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this
Mahomes.
none of us believe in the Broncos and Chargers that much. We can talk ourselves into them some, but because the Chargers are always the lovable losers and the Broncos, I think part of it is, part of the reason I believe in the Broncos less is I learned the hard lesson of, I don't understand why everyone's making the huge deal about all these one-score games and how the Chiefs were the beneficiary of it. And then the Broncos just did it last year. And I watched the reversal of that hit the Chiefs, the regression of that hit the Chiefs painfully hard in the early part of the season. And I'm like, hey, Denver, you can't scrape by again. That won't work.
It's not going to happen.
That won't work 2 years in a row. So 2, 3, 4 loss regression is coming just naturally for them. And they lost some players on defense. They got Waddle, but I don't know. Those teams are good, but I don't trust their quarterbacks. And
So I just think the Chiefs have the right pieces to be successful, and I just don't see them coming out and not being able to figure it out. Like last year, it felt like they could just never figure anything out. It was just one issue after another, and it felt like we couldn't find one positive thing on either side of the ball to talk about. It was like always an issue we were talking about.
Yeah.
And this year, I just feel like it's not going to be that. It's got to be better. I mean, it just has to be.
Well,
so I
just tell
can't
him
imagine it being worse, right?
I was just telling Cody, you pretty much know the offense. I mean,
Yes.
literally every single position is basically set, except for right tackle. It should be Jalen Moore, but it's going to be an open competition. But literally, it is set. Defense, completely different story.
Yes.
Well, and I guess, but they still have the potential to be a top, like you mentioned. They could be a top 10 defense or a top 10 offense, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes.
They've consistently been a top-ish scoring. Technically, it depends on where you look at it for the end of the season. I think some of the advanced stats say the Chiefs' points per drive have only had one team in the top 10 in Patrick Mahomes' run versus Brady, who had like 7. But points per game, they typically are around the top 10 marker. No reason to think with Spags it won't be that again. And the offense, before Patrick Mahomes got hurt, the game before he got hurt, they were still the 11th best scoring offense in the league.
Yeah, which is weird.
Surprising
to think about. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't fun to watch, but they still know how to like grind out some points.
Yes. I just think they'll be able to figure it out. And I mean, after the season last year, and just it was like one thing after another, it felt like they've got to be pretty pissed. I think they'll just tackle training camp maybe a little bit differently this year. And then you have those coaches that you mentioned that are coming in and they are really just lighting a fire. And I think that's going to make a difference too, because I think maybe the Chiefs just got, I don't know, like, I don't want to say lazy, but just
Probably
like
tired more
comfortable.
than anything,
And they just kind of were like walking through the motions.
It was easy for a while.
Yes.
And then it got hard, and then they're like, oh, God, we got to be better.
Yeah, we got to actually pick it up.
Well, it probably didn't hurt that, like, the second snap of the game, they hurt everybody on the roster almost immediately in the wide receiver unit. But that's also the problem. The biggest thing I genuinely fear for this team is I do not like their depth. Like, I fear what an injury-plagued season would do to this team in particular. Rice goes down, Worthy goes down, Kelsey goes down, Walker goes down. I'm like, oh, you got big problems if any of like the regular starters get hurt. And I don't, and offensive line, tackle, I'm like, I don't feel good about any of that. You can't have extended periods missed by anybody in the offense, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. I don't think you have like those big names as the backups that could come in and be like, oh, we're good. They can fill in. They've got it. Whether like, let's say a receiver goes down for a couple of weeks. I'm like, okay, well, do we have another number one receiver that can come in and be a starter and like produce?
Not unless Worthy takes a huge step forward.
Right.
You know?
So that I will say that is a little scary to think about.
Running
Like
back's
that'd be the
only
one
place
issue.
I think they drafted Emmett Johnson. I think that there's something to Emmett because there's no reason rookies running backs
I'd at least
can't be
have
good.
hope that maybe he can be
DeMarcado
good.
comes in here. I know they really like him from his yards per carry average, and he's a very good blocker. That is one position I think that could withstand it much more than the others. Not that anytime you lose a starter, of course it's going to hurt you.
I just feel like they lost Pacheco a couple years ago.
And losing Simmons was hard too.
And I thought, well, maybe, like Pacheco's not a superstar. And they were even worse behind him.
Yeah.
Like, now look, Emmett Johnson's probably as good as they've had in a while, at least for the potential, because fourth-round running backs can, to your point, Bink, just be good.
Yeah.
Like, they could just immediately be good, but I don't know.
I think
I fear it.
having EB back too, I think will benefit as well. Like, I think he'll get those backups ready to perform if needed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, not that I didn't like Matt Nagy or, any of the other coaches, or I didn't think they did a good job. I just think it's a different level with EB.
Well, scoring 30 points a game was certainly helpful because it put so much pressure on other teams.
Yes.
You didn't have to sit there and wait if they could score or not. But when you went out there like they did, like the early days of Mahomes and the dynasty and everything, it was score points, touchdowns every
All
time.
the time, every
They
drive.
were losing the game. Again, they scored 51 points, they lost. They scored over 40 points in New England, they lost. Like those days, you score 50, 40, you would definitely hope your defense holds them to at least 28 at that point.
It's weird because, like, with the EB stuff, it's hard to not think that at least the players feel like it makes a difference when they spent the better part of 8 or 10 games last year, and the only message to the media was accountability, accountability, accountability. It's like they were just describing the stuff EB's job was. And that doesn't mean that he didn't like Nagy or something, but like that they had lost, I don't know, some portion of that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's weird? Like for Travis, I know he'll get asked about it. The juxtaposition of you were getting married in Madison Square Garden and now you're at, Scanlon in Missouri Western.
Totally.
Like, I get, but like, is it weird? Like he constantly, more than most people probably on the earth, jumps between two lives that are very different.
Yeah, and it's weird
You know?
because he he's going to get asked these questions if and when we get to talk to him. But the crazy
I think
thing
he
is,
talked one time last year, was that?
I think
in
one
training
time,
camp?
yeah. But like his answers to these questions are always what shocks me because he'll be like, "Oh, I love being here in St. Joseph. Like we've been doing it for however
And
many
he seems
years,
like he means it.
and I love being back in the dorm room with my guys and like and it's like, but do you? Do you?
It would
You
just be like-
literally just got married at Madison Square Garden.
And your wife's a billionaire.
Exactly. And now you're in a dorm room, which I'm sure when no hate or anything, but when you were at Cincinnati, I'm sure it was better. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
It just feels like it would be whiplash
Yes.
constantly in my life to be like, oh, I'm at the nicest restaurant in all of Paris.
And now I'm in a
I'm at
cafeteria.
Missouri, and now I'm at a cafeteria at Missouri Western. And the next night I'm
They
on
gotta do dorms, Cody.
I'm on an exclusive security-riddled hotel stay at like the Ritz-Carlton. And now I'm back in, I just feel like it would be like cultural whiplash.
I feel like that too. But then you look at, I mean, I don't know a ton about Taylor Swift. I like her, but I wouldn't consider myself like one of the biggest Swiftie fans that knows every little detail.
Yeah, me either.
But she does seem like she's pretty down to earth and normal, but you can't, it's hard to fathom okay, you're a billionaire. You have all this security. You can't go places without it being like
easily. You got to shut places
planned.
down.
Yes. And then now, what are you going to be in Kansas City? Can you imagine if Taylor Swift went to training camp to watch for like Friends and Family Day and she's just in the tent next to us? Absolutely no way does that happen.
Hit the Trader Joe's that's
Well, you know what I'm
building around
saying?
the corner
Yes.
and just like shop for some
Go
risotto.
over to the farm and home that's like right across from that gas station in St. Joe.
Now look, they can still go to restaurants and they like buy out little private rooms and they know by now how, but like to go from that to, and look, Travis, it's weird because Travis has been a publicly known figure in this city for a very long time. So training camp probably doesn't feel dramatically different to him. He's been known in this city for a really long time, but now he can't, before he could leave Kansas City and go places and
Now
not
he can't.
meet, but now he can't. Before he could go to New York or LA or certainly overseas and go these places and somebody be like, who's that tall guy who looks vaguely familiar? They wouldn't think there's Travis Kelce. And like, I just think you and I mean, 4 years ago, I don't know. 4 years ago, I think, I was at a Hy-Vee in Lee Summit, emceeing a cake judging contest with just me and Travis Kelce for his birthday. His life has changed dramatically since then. Mine is about the same.
I'm just curious what
and
it's
I
gonna
just
look like.
imagine that is quite the change.
It's
in life.
like from the national media. Because seriously, there has to be a lot of national people there outside of the sports realm.
Yeah.
Because it's training camp. I guarantee you, St. Joe will have different media.
We're going to have more media that are going to be there 100%. To ask him questions about other things.
Especially in the beginning.
Yes.
But he only talks, he really does. They'll do for him last year, I think at camp. We got him like 3 years in a row at camp, just as like a guest at our table. Like we got him, the show.
Oh, okay.
The last 2 years, not so much.
Yeah.
Which again, it's not even like, I get it. Like I love him to come on.
Yeah.
I hope he does. But I get it. I get why he doesn't pop over to our tent and talk to a couple of idiots. But it is like that part of it is funny because like he'll just, anymore, Bink, he talks twice during the regular season at the podium in a controlled environment. Mm-hmm. And he talks once at training camp. And he has to, per NFL rules, be available after the game. He's not available after every game. And he doesn't have to agree to talk to you, but he has to be available to talk. And I think last year he talked like once after a game.
I think once.
So like it's like once, it's like twice to the media on like the Thursday we have players. Yeah. It's like once or twice in a post game and once at camp. He's got it locked into like 5 times. Mm-hmm. And he was like, it's weird because he was I'm an accountable guy. I'll talk after the game almost every single game. Yes. Like it's like a weird change. Not for him, but like because he can't stand in there because like the stuff he probably doesn't want to answer questions about football.
Much different than when he came in.
Yes, and like when you look at like us, we understand. We know what is okay to ask, what's not okay to ask. But then when you get media from all over that aren't typically there or the people that he sees on a weekly basis, then I can understand him not wanting to answer certain questions because you don't know what he's going to get asked. And it's like, that's got to get old when you're there at training camp and you're going to be asked questions about the team. That's what you're prepared to answer with maybe a few questions here and there, like how was your wedding? Like how's married life? Yeah. But then we leave it at that where, that's not going to always happen. Yeah. But you got to think like he's got to still be just a normal guy that popped down at your table and talked to you, at camp those couple of years. Like, I can't imagine his personality changing, but I think the way he goes about his life now is just so much different because it has to be.
In fairness, he seems pretty much the same as I remember him 10 years ago. Like, he doesn't seem like a different person. I just think you have to live your life differently. Yes. And that's probably not super fun.
It's got to be an adjustment, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be kind of weird in some ways, right? I mean,
especially he's so vocal.
Well, you went out and you have security all around you. It's just much different than just going out by yourself doing whatever. Now, I'm sure the security's with him too. I'm sure things just change because you can get in your car, go wherever you want. Now you got all these people.
It just stinks. Like I've been around athletes where we're just like, we end up at the same thing at like an American Royal, and they're like partying there, kind of drunk, and it's 2 a.m. and we're all having fun. But if you're Travis now, that setting, no, that's a TMZ. People, ooh, Travis got drunk at the,
where was Taylor? Yes.
You can't even like be regular.
Yeah.
I've told people before, they're like, you'd want to be that famous? I'm like, are you nuts?
I don't think so.
I would do this job if it meant if I was just like, I was like the Phantom of the Opera or the Marshmallow DJ. Just nobody knew who my face was. Mm-hmm. I was just a member of Daft Punk and I just wore a helmet. Genuinely, it would be okay. If you just liked the show and I got to do the job, but you never saw me, it would be fine.
Yeah, being that famous would be
because you think about the stuff you hear just working in local news. You've shown me some of the emails.
I am apparently a princess
dark.
now in Algeria. They have just.
What?
I don't know. Like my professional Facebook page, I think I had maybe 19,000 followers before the World Cup.
Okay.
I have 32.
What happened?
And it's pretty much all Algeria. I went to Lawrence to cover
just the country.